Let's see. Okay, everybody. So first things first, can y'all hear me? Sound check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2. Let me know if you can hear me. And good evening. Happy Saturday night, everybody. Let's see here. I'm just checking out a few things behind the scenes. I still have some material uploading, so please don't give me feedback. Just one moment. So things are running a little slow, but it's all good. It's going to all come together real quick, real soon. Let's see. Yeah, what I want to do is turn that volume down and then press play. There we go. Get you up to real time. Ta-da. Hi. Oh, awesome. Yay. That's terrific. Okay. So I don't have my mic plugged in. If there's any audio issues, please let me know and I will do my best to take care of them. So hi, Louise. How are you? From England. Welcome, jolly old chap. That was probably pretty corny, wasn't it? Hi, RR. Nice to see you. One of our wonderful moderators, Aussie Girl Jen. Just the same. Hi, T. Andrews. How are you? And everyone who is at the members only live stream the other night, thank you for being there. We will have more soon. Hi, MB Gal. How are you? Nice to see you. Welcome. Hi, Edward. Always great to see you. And Muffy, thank you for always giving me really quick feedback, Muffy. I always look to you because you're always like right on top of it. I love that. Thank you. Hi, Gina. Welcome. How are you doing? Hi, Kellyanne J. Miss CD Isaacs. Hi, how are you? Hi, Life Gail. Nice to see you as well. DC Prime. I'm used to the new name and I like it. I do. Turquoise. Hi, how are you doing? Holly S. Hi there, sweetheart. And thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much. You're such a sweetie. Thank you for supporting the channel. I really, really appreciate it. Hi, hey, Heart. 73. Is my girl Chicken Lady here? Look out. Chicken Lady's in his house. Woohoo. Turquoise, I think I said hello, but I'm going to do it again because I'm not 100% sure. Hi, Utter Nutter, trusty old mod. Utter Nutter is the bomb. And Chicken Lady, I'm going to pin it just because I'm so happy Chicken Lady's here. Chicken Lady, I told you we have Watts the Obsession time too. Chicken Lady the other day was saying that, I was on Armchair Detective the other day and he was running a little late, which was actually really good for me because I had just gotten home from work. And she was saying, they kind of joke and say, oh, yeah, it's, like Alan time or Armchair Detective time. We get it, don't we? Yes, we do. Hello, Elizabeth Bridges. How are you doing? Oh, no. Prayers for Kentucky. Did something terrible happen in Kentucky? Oh, no. I see that a few times. I haven't watched the news. Oh, God. Prayers for Kentucky. I'm sorry I missed it. And I'm sure that it's absolutely awful. Oh, no. Okay, so, okay. Miss C.D. Isaac says, can you all say prayers for my state of Kentucky? Absolutely, we will. Everybody, please join. We had massive flooding. Oh, and lots of deaths. Oh, God, thank you. No, I'm so sorry to hear that. How terrible. I'm so sorry, Miss C.D. Isaacs. That's terrible. Man, so much natural and man-made disaster these days. It's horrific. Hi, Jennifer Bradford. How are you doing? I'm going to leave this up. Let's see who else. Chicken Lady. We're going to say hi to her twice. Chicken Lady's okay. I hope you're better than okay, my love. Let's see. And who else we have here? I'm going to go up just a little bit more. And Carolyn. Oh, thank you for becoming a member, Carolyn. Welcome. Welcome to the Watts the Obsession member family. Thank you so much. Hi. Oh, gosh. Lalika. Is that how you say that? If it is, such a pretty name. But hello. Hi. How are you? Nice to see you here. And I'll go up just a little bit more. Some people don't like it. I know when I say hello to everybody in the beginning of a live stream. And if that's your case, I definitely don't mean to be inconsiderate of your time and take up more of your time. But just know that I am going to continue to do that because I like to check in with people, get all of our prayers out, connect with everyone, see how everyone's doing. It's just definitely something that I like to be a part of our live stream. So, if you're watching it on replay, maybe just go in a few minutes into the replay and then you should be all good, Want to make everyone happy, but sometimes that's hard to do, right? So hi, Juicy Jules. How are you? Nice to see you. Oh, it's in Fort Collins. Oh, that's a nice message. Thank you very much, Juicy Jules. Juicy Jules. I like that name too. Such fun names. Hi, Keschik. How are you doing? How are you feeling, my girl? Keschik and I share in common having COVID twice in a short period of time. I think Keschik is still going through it a little bit. So, girl, I hope that you're feeling okay tonight. And then we've got StreamYard, of course, up there. Okay, so Curious Rose is going to come up in just a little while. We all love Curious Rose. She's such an awesome asset to, contributing to the content on this channel. Oh, and hi, Tony. How are you? Nice to see you. Hi, Jody. It's cool. Nice to see you also. Trinity. Hi, nice to see you. Trinity says, Dr. Phil always acts like he's an expert on everything. Listen, I feel you, okay? But here's the thing about Dr. Phil. I feel that if Dr. Phil is like really concerned about his, hi Marina D, how are you? And hi Green Eyed Bandit, how are you? He's really concerned about his reputation and that people, believe him, hook, line, and sinker all the time. So what I do think about Dr. Phil, although I do think he can be a little full of himself. Yes, Dr. Phil, I do think that of you, Dr. Phil McGraw. I do think that what he puts out there, he puts out with confidence. And I think that the level of confidence he puts material out with allows the viewer to also have confidence in his material. You get what I'm saying? Because I know that man, he don't ever want to be wrong, Hi, Bass Girl 42. How are you? Bella Sofia La Divina White. Oh, what a name. And hi, how are you? I love that name. Beautiful name. Roms is calling. So glad you could make it. Always happy when you're here. Oh, and I see that we have a super chat from, oh, there it is. Oh, that's really nice. Let's see. Thank you for the super chat. Hey Heart 73. And Hey Heart 73 sends a beautiful message saying, sending prayers to everyone in Kentucky from little me here in London. Oh, well, that means a lot to them. Hey Heart 73. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. Hi, Mitch Chardonnay. How are you doing? Oh, nice. We are happy that you're here. Happy to find your channel. Love from New Zealand. We've got people representing from all across the globe. I love that. That's awesome. Some people send in well wishes as well to Keschik 56. So T. Andrew says, I'm going to ask some Watts questions. Yeah, totally. That's what we're here for. Dr. Phil is unlicensed. Well, I've heard these various things about Dr. Phil. I mean, I've got to say this. I do know that Dr. Phil is credentialed to the degree that these major networks have allowed him to run on their channel and do what he does. I honestly, personally have not looked into his credentials for the reason that I just said, basically. So hi, Chris CH, or is it Chrisich? I don't know how to pronounce it. Guys, you have such creative names. I don't always know how to pronounce it. There goes my bunny scratching at the bottom of her cage. She's like, oh, my human's live. I'm going to make some noise. Go for it, girl. Hi, Mary. How are you? Oh my gosh. Let's all say a prayer for Mary's healing as well. She says, I've been trying to catch up. I didn't have my phone. Was in the hospital with bleeding ulcer. Missed everyone here. Well, we missed you too, sweetheart. And I hope that you're doing okay. Oh my gosh. And everybody also, please say a big thank you to all the moderators. They always have a big job. There's been some channel hater drama or whatever recently. So they're like on the extra special lookout these days. I understand. And thank you guys, not only for doing that, but for taking it upon yourselves to do things that I've just learned I don't even necessarily know about. I can't even tell you guys how much I appreciate you. You're so amazing. And thank you so much. Our friend Double R says, Kelly, the guy with 2 R's checking in. Yes. Hi, how are you? And how's your mom doing, Double R? How's your mom doing after her surgery the other day? So we're sending prayers for her too. We hope that she's doing well. So let's see. All right. So what we're going to be looking at today are some of the things that some of the, pop forensic psychologists, talking heads, news anchor people, and such, all of that cast of characters we know that likes to cover forensics, likes to cover the true crime cases that are out there. What were they saying back in 2018, just shortly after this absolutely horrific tragedy happened? It's interesting to know what they said then as compared to what they say now, if they say anything now. And then there were some interesting situations that came about. For example, Ashleigh Banfield being pulled from her network, HLN, even though she was a wildly popular news anchor. And although there is no definitive answer as to what happened there, why Ashleigh Banfield was pulled from HLN, the timing fits, and many suspect it has to do with her coverage of the Watts case. Now, Ashleigh Banfield, for those of you that don't know, is old school. I remember Ashleigh Banfield way back when, covering the Gulf War in the Middle East. And oh my gosh, I don't even know what year it was. I just remember I happened to be home from work. I worked at Merrill Lynch at this time. I was home from work for some reason. I don't know if it was a bank holiday or what it is. My fiance wasn't home. I was home. I remember sitting on our couch and watching this when President Bush came over the airwaves announcing shock and awe in the bombings that had started in, I believe it was in Iraq, right? That's where the bombing started, I believe. Not Saudi Arabia. They were a air quote ally then. And Ashleigh Banfield was on the scene in the Middle East, in the midst of it all, really putting herself in the line of danger. There were several newsy people that went over there to cover the Gulf War who were either severely injured or didn't make it back home to their families. I've always had a lot of respect for Ashleigh Banfield. I enjoy her coverage and anything that she covers. I think she's pretty amazing. And why she was taken off that network, we do not definitively know. But we're going to rewind, go back a little bit. And Jennifer Bradford says it's the first Ashleigh I've seen spelled the way besides my daughter. Oh, that's so cool. Huh, that's interesting. Hi, Michelle Gardner. Hi, Leatherface. How are you guys doing? And welcome. Snuggle in, get warm, get cozy, and let's go. Oh, that's so funny. I'm so glad you said that, Jennifer Bradford, because I've been uploading things by her today. I've been spelling her name wrong. So my uploads haven't gone through yet. I'm checking on them right now. That's what was taking me a while to get up. It doesn't look like they're going to go through stopping us. So let's just take a listen to the beginning of Dr. Phil's, that deleted episode that I posted a couple months ago on my channel, and I'm sure you've probably seen it elsewhere, that Dr. Phil put out. It was the third episode in his podcast, The Devil Beside Me, covering the Watts tragedy. Now, I was talking about this on Armchair Detectives channel the other day. I probably am going to get myself in trouble by saying this over and over again, but people have challenged me as to whether that was really a deleted or a hidden episode or not. I don't know if deleted is the right word, but it's hidden from his selection at this time. How I know that it's been disowned by the Dr. Phil franchise is you don't get a copyright claim when you upload it, like any of other Dr. Phil's material. I have other material from Dr. Phil on my channel. I've tried to include quotes and excerpts from Dr. Phil various times in live streams and whatnot. And the moment you do that, the moment it's 3 seconds or longer of Dr. Phil consecutively speaking or in his person, you don't get a copyright strike, but you get a copyright claim. And that whatever that is, the whole thing cannot be monetized because Dr. Phil's franchise is like all over it. Hi, Kurt Stacy. How are you doing? Welcome. Always nice to see you here, my friend. So let's just take a little listen to the first few minutes of what Dr. Phil had to say in this episode. Now, this episode dates back to early 2019. So it's not right immediately after these terrible, horrific murders happened, but it's maybe 6 months or so approximately after. So let's just take a listen to this. And please let me know if there's any issue with the audio. Let me know what's up.
It has been just 2 days since pregnant Shanann Watts and her 2 daughters, Bella and Celeste, vanished without a trace from their cozy home in Frederick, Colorado. Before they disappeared, the Watts family seemed like the perfect family of 4 going on 5. But now all hope of seeing them together again, alive, is dead. Chris has confessed to a violent confrontation. He claimed he witnessed his wife murdering their children in cold blood and then killed her in a fit of grief and retaliation. He led police to the bodies. What was left of Shanann, Bella, and Celeste is found concealed in a shallow grave and in 2 oil tanks on a desolate oil field where Chris worked. Now Shanann's handsome husband, the father of her children, Chris Watts, has been arrested and sits behind bars, accused of murder. At every turn, police continued to uncover shocking new twists. They had the bodies and a confession, but from the start, police doubted Chris's outlandish story. He's already proven himself to be less than credible. In the days following the discovery of Shanann and the children, investigators would continue to try to piece together the puzzle of what actually happened to them. And America could not get enough of this terrible story that was both salacious and terrifying. Now, why would there be such an appetite for this? Why would people be so interested in it? Because this happened in Anywhere, USA, to Any Family, USA. This wasn't a fringe family. These weren't people that lived on the edge that you would look at and say, yeah, I can believe that. No, you would look at this family and say, wow, if this could happen to this family, it could happen to any family, and that is unsettling. People wanted to know how, why, what happened. I know that because people stopped me on the street and asked, and the questions were not rhetorical. They really wanted to know, what is happening in this world? How can this occur? A lot had happened in Chris Watts' life during that week-long period in August. His family was dead. An extramarital affair had been exposed. He had been arrested. Chris's interview, filmed at the home he once shared with his wife and children, had gone viral. In the blink of an eye, America's new Scott Peterson. Reporters were eating up the story, noting that Chris may have looked like a silver fox, but he was really a wolf in sheep's clothing. Chris Watts had become America's most hated father. Right away, the investigation pulled back the curtain on a crumbling marriage that may have led to murder. Behind the cheery family photos and bubbly social media posts, there was a deep, hidden resentment, tension, and strife. And on examination, all of those posts were one-sided. They were all put up by Shanann. They were not put up by Chris. Maybe because Chris was too busy having an affair. There were money issues, and Chris was worried about the financial strain of yet a third child and what it would cause. His feelings were, we're not making it with 2 children to feed, clothe, and raise, and now there's a third one on the way? But more importantly was an emotional divide between Chris and Shanann, and it had left Shanann distraught in the days leading up to her disappearance. Had their troubles made Chris feel desperate for a way out, desperate enough to kill? So many questions remain. Did Chris's mistress, Nicole, know more about his marital situation than she had let on? Did she have any idea that Chris would soon end the lives of the people who loved him the most? And Chris was about to come clean with what really happened to his family. The story of Chris and Shanann Watts, well, it wasn't over. In fact, it was just starting to unfold. And I have a sneaking suspicion that made some people really nervous. And that's what's coming up on this episode of The Devil Beside Me, the Chris Watts story. Husband, father, killer. We started to talk last episode about Chris's mistress, Nicole Kissinger. Now, Chris and Nicole met at work, and sparks flew. They soon began an affair, but according to Nicole, she was not aware that this was an affair, or that she was the mistress, that she was the other woman. She says she thought she was dating a guy who was in the midst of a mostly amicable divorce. Once news of Shanann's disappearance spread, Nicole had gone to police of her own free will to speak to them about her involvement with Chris. But was she a hero in this story? Or is it possible, like Shannann's parents believe to this day, that she tried to help Chris, and when it all started coming unraveled, when it all started hitting the wall, she got scared and bailed? Was she actually helping him and got cold feet and decided, save yourself, girl? She was never arrested or charged. However, is there more than meets the eye with Nicole? Sure, she had been helping police. It seemed like she was on their side and not her lovers. She had told them all about Chris and Shanann's many issues. She told them Chris had confided in her that he was no longer in love. She said he talked about living alone. She basically handed them his motive on a silver platter. But Nicole also told police she had no idea that Chris and Shanann were expecting a baby number 3. She says as far as she knew, their marriage was kaput. Now, there are thousands of armchair detectives who passionately followed this story who just were not satisfied with that explanation, and they never said it. But it appeared to people following the case closely that the police weren't exactly satisfied with that explanation.
Oh, we've said it.
Let's be real. In today's world, all it would have taken were a few clicks of Nicole's mouse or a scroll on her phone to find Shanann's Facebook and Instagram pages. Everyone knows that if you're single and you meet someone this day and age, the first thing you do is go check out their social media platforms. You go look them up online and find out not only who they are today, but who they've been before you met them. And if they have an ex, you're going to know about it, and you go right to their page too. You are just straight up lying if you claim you don't. I don't believe that for a second. And this wasn't an ex. This is somebody that tells you, I'm still married. We're getting a divorce. Well, you know what? Anybody with any self-awareness is going to say, really? Well, let me just go look and see what was posted yesterday, what was posted last week. If you're telling me this is an amicable divorce and that you're really separated, you're living under one roof purely for financial reasons, then that's going to be reflected on these social media platforms because there's going to be some individuality. We're not going to be seeing all this togetherness, all these family interactions. You're not going to see this wife sitting in the husband's lap. You're not going to be seeing all this togetherness. Anyone can figure this out if you take a look. If Nicole were to have checked out either Chris or Shanann's social media, nothing would have indicated that there was a divide, and certainly not that there was a looming divorce.
Okay, so we're going to stop there. We've played this a couple times, parts of it at least on live streams. I think all the way through on a live stream, and this is available on my channel. Go check it out. So just in the very beginning part of this narrative by Dr. Phil, which was from early 2019, he hits on a few things that I believe are curious. Well, actually, let's just go back a couple minutes here. The obvious part that, I would like to focus on, and I'm sure many of you do too, is at the very end of what he just said in regards to the mistress. I'm sorry, John McSmith, but hello. It's so nice to see you. Also curious to me is, now remember, I think, was it T. Andrews who made the point that, Dr. Phil thinks he knows everything about everything? It's touche. Oh, he does. But, as I said, due to his feelings about his own reputation and not wanting to be looked poorly upon by anyone, it's my opinion that he's not going to put anything out unless he has a great degree of confidence in that. So what I want to know is, how can he make these statements with such certainty? Let's listen.
Him the most. And Chris was about to come clean with what really happened to his family. The story of Chris and Shanann Watts, well, it wasn't over. In fact, it was just starting to unfold.
It's coming up here.
And I have a sneaking suspicion that made some people really nervous.
And we all know who he's referring to there.
And that's what's coming up on this episode of...
Oops, hold it. I didn't go far enough back. I'm sorry. Let's see. Yeah.
Children to feed, clothe.
This is what I want here. Sorry, guys. Right here. All right.
There were money issues, and Chris was worried about the financial strain of yet a third child and what it would cause. His feelings were, we're not making it with 2 children to feed, clothe, and raise, and now there's a third one on the way. But more importantly,
so, I mean, that's something that I question right there. Now, many of us who know a lot about this case and have looked at the financial situation, which, is really out there for everyone to see based on the documents that have been published and are a matter of public record, we can assume, given what happened, that Chris Watts was certainly nervous about another baby on the way. We also can assume and reasonably conclude, particularly based on his conversations with Nicole Kessinger about financial matters, that Chris Watts was very concerned about the financial aspect of there being another baby on the way. We already have 2. We know that they were hurling towards their way to a second bankruptcy, even with just those 2 children. And there really was no stopping it, as we heard from Chris, as we heard from Kessinger, as we heard from Chris Watts' mother in the excerpt of the unpublished part of the book that I've been reading recently on this channel. But the way Dr. Phil says this here is with a great degree of certainty. This made Chris Watts nervous. He was panicking, I'm paraphrasing here now, about the prospect of having another child when they were struggling with just 2 children already, under their roof in their home. So where did he get this information from? Also of great interest in this small excerpt that we hear from Dr. Phil is when he explicitly says, hi, Downtown Wonder, by the way. How are you doing? Hi, Becky Boo. Hi, Shana. How are you? Shanna. Tell me how to pronounce that. I'm glad you're here. Is that when he says, and Shanann's parents believe to this day that, somebody else was involved, but, that she essentially got cold feet and said to herself, you better save yourself, girl, empanada. With my impression of what Dr. Phil is like and his concern about his own reputation, which, I guess is legitimate if you are, making millions and millions of dollars, talking about the psychological aspects and dynamics of people's lives and families and crimes and all kinds of situations, you would want your reputation to be sterling. You wouldn't want anybody to be questioning what you say, right? So I don't think that Dr. Phil would have said that unless he was 100% sure in his own mind that Nicole Kessinger had some part in this horrific crime. And, that's that. What do you guys think about that? And Curious Rose, I did put the link if you want to come up, whenever you want to come up, my darling. We're just saying hello to people and whatnot, but there's a link again. So anytime you want to come up, you're welcome to come up, my friend. We love a Curious Rose. She's wonderful. She got to go out to dinner with a friend tonight. I'm happy she got to get out. Let's see. So what do you guys think of that? Yes. Hi, Michelle Cherry. Chris Watts was no doubt a monster. Absolutely. You know what, Michelle Cherry? This actually segues. Hi, Anaphylaxis. How are you doing? Let's see. Yeah, so Green Eye says, I agree. Dr. Phil knows that NK was involved, right? Green Eyes, like he wouldn't talk about it if he didn't wholeheartedly believe that with evidence to support his statement. He's just not that kind of guy. Okay, so Edward asks a really great question here and says, how would Dr. Phil know anything more than we or anyone else knows? Well, a couple ways, in my opinion, and, tell me what you guys think. I certainly don't talk to Dr. Phil on a regular basis. I'm just speculating, drawing conclusions based on what I know and observe. We do know at this point that Dr. Phil was in close contact with Shanann Watts' family. So could it be through Shanann's family? Dr. Phil also has connections in law enforcement that we are not privy to for sure. And you might say, well, hey, they're law enforcement. Are they going to tell him anything above and beyond what they've released to the average person in public? Well, I can tell you that my friend Alex, who's the criminal defense attorney, when he got into this case and he actually spoke to somebody who's close to the investigation, that person did tell him that they recovered, if not all, or if not all, the vast majority of the communications between Chris Watts and his former mistress. So if they're willing to tell my friend Alex that, who is an attorney, who has a connection, as far as being involved in the law, same as the investigator that he spoke with, why wouldn't they be willing to disclose that information to Dr. Phil? Oh, yes. Interesting. So let's see. Edward says, oh, no, well, that too. And we're glad Edward asked that question. Stevie says, and welcome, Stevie. How are you doing? Hi, Andrea. How are you doing? Welcome. Hi, Rosie. Honey, how are you doing? Welcome. Stevie says to Becky Boo, please watch Live Abuse Free. He is a textbook covert narcissist. Well, I definitely endorse Live Abuse Free, and I do suggest you watch it. Now, when I was watching some other tidbits of Dr. Phil, Nancy Grace, various investigators talking. Actually, let me go over to that video. What I found, according to so many of them, is that they characterized Chris Watts as being what they called a malignant narcissist psychopath. What does that mean? I had no idea. I have a background in psychology, and I still had no idea. I thought perhaps whoop, don't say anything more. I don't want to get copywritten on this. So I have a background in psychology. So I was like, wow, should I be embarrassed to admit that I do not know really much about this malignant narcissist bit? So then I started looking up malignant narcissist for the purpose of presenting it to you guys this evening so we could discuss it. So let me show you what it is that I found out. So have you guys heard Chris Watts being called that, being labeled as that malignant narcissist, oftentimes followed by psychopath or sociopath? So malignant narcissist, psychopath, or sociopath. Now, that was a term that I hadn't found myself familiar with in my explorations in psychology. And this really shed a light on why that is. So this is an article by Sarah Mason. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the illustrator there. Let me give credit to whom this is. An article by Medically Reviewed by Bethany Juby. Psych Doctorate written by Zon Villeneuve on February 7th, 2022. So this was kind of the best information I could find about malignant narcissism. So it says, malignant narcissism is a personality type that causes extreme narcissism, aggression, and sometimes abuse of others. Now, what I want you guys to do is, if you don't mind, listen to this and let me know if you think that Chris Watts falls into this category of malignant narcissist based on your observations and what you know about him. If you've been watching all along, if you've been listening to what he said, to his confessions, if you've been watching the tape when he was interviewed on the porch, you are as qualified, I would suggest, as anybody else to make these determinations. So I'd like to know what you think. So the DSM is the Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. That's what everybody in the field of psychology, whether it's forensic psychology, clinical psychology, or whatnot, that's kind of the Bible of diagnostic criteria. So it says the DSM does not list malignant narcissism as a diagnosis. At that point, I was like, phew, oh, good, because I really thought that I should have known what that was. Some people describe malignant narcissism as a form of psychopathy, which the DSM-5 also does not list. Psychopathy is an unofficial term for people with antisocial personality disorder. So when you hear psychopathology, just know that's a blanket, unofficial term to describe people with antisocial personality disorder. Now, there are specific antisocial personality disorders that are specific and do have a diagnosis. And we can talk about that in a moment. Also, there is not a well-validated scale to measure malignant narcissism. Its characteristics are not clearly defined. It may serve as a moral judgment rather than a diagnosis, especially in online abuse recovery and self-help spaces. Whether malignant narcissism is a real diagnosis remains controversial. Keep reading to learn more about malignant narcissism. Oh, girl, we will. Let's keep reading. What is malignant narcissism? The notion of malignant narcissism originates in the self-help and law enforcement communities, not in psychiatry. These communities have focused on malignant narcissism as a behavioral judgment on a specific form of abuse rather than a mental health diagnosis. In the popular conception, malignant narcissism is a form of narcissistic personality disorder that is highly abusive. People with this personality supposedly get a sense of satisfaction from hurting others and may manipulate people or lie to gain money, acclaim, or other things they desire. Let's pause there. In your opinion, does that term malignant narcissism, if that is the best definition we have, does that describe Chris Watts? Let me bring a Curious Rose on. Welcome, a Curious Rose. How are you doing, honey?
Hi. Well, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Always love having you here.
Oh, this is a great topic.
Yeah. Did you just hear that description of malignant narcissism?
I did.
What do you think?
I mean, I could just say in the psych world of nursing, it's not a diagnosis. It's more of a description. Like symptoms, or it's definitely not a diagnosis. A lot of times, though, I know there's like feelings of neglect in their past, like they felt like they were, not seen enough, not heard enough as children, and they carry that through them through life. Very revengeful.
And you're speaking specifically of a malignant narcissist here?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I do remember the one, he had 6 children, and our in-house psychiatrist said, which is, as you said, it's unreal, but most malignant narcissists don't even ever experience any sort of love. That's a malignant narcissist.
Narcissist.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, what do you think, based on what you know and perhaps that description that you just heard, do you think that Chris Watts falls into that malignant narcissist category?
I think he does. I think he does add up to a lot of the description of it. The revengeful. Well, the revengeful. He kind of felt slighted over by his sister.
Yeah.
He had to look up what does it feel like to be in love.
Yeah, that's true.
What else? He's very manipulative in his own covert way. His mother, the book that we are all reading, she looks at him and says now, like, I don't even know if I really ever knew who my son was.
That's right. That's right. And that little tiny part of the chapter I just read in that whole book that you're reading, right? She said it both times. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is horrifying as a mother.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. Oh, listen, now Stevie makes a really, really interesting point, because I personally was going to make a case for, in my opinion, I don't think he necessarily does fit that description of a malignant narcissist. Now, I'm not going to stick to it. I'm not like, do or die with that opinion.
Right.
It's just my first once over, upon reading this definition, that's what I thought. Stevie says, Miss CD, he was definitely abusive to his wife. He killed her emotionally before he strangled her. And wow, Stevie, that is a really good point.
That is a good point. And Miss CD said normal people can be revengeful. We're not talking about normal revenge. We're talking about extreme revenge.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
That's right. Yeah. And hold it. Wait, could you either read comments or just speak for a minute? Yeah. We have some requests to slow chat again.
Oh boy.
So I want to see if I can pop in and do that. I do see it's going by pretty quick. So I'm going to try to do that for you guys. Okay.
Yep. Let me see where you got to.
Thank you, Rose. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Let's see here.
Miss CD said he wasn't manipulative or abusive to his family. His mother would disagree with you on that. I could tell you that.
But I will say, Miss CD, I mean, on its face, I do think that it's, I think if you're just watching the videos of him, and this is what's so fascinating about this case, if you're watching the videos of him with his children, and say if you just saw those videos and you never knew anything about this horrible tragedy happening, you'd be like, what? That guy? No way.
Right.
Until you really start to dig deep, I think it's really hard to see.
Oh, it is. And it's until you deep dive, you can miss it. You can miss all the little red flags throughout his life.
For sure.
All right. Let me look at the chat here.
Yeah, it's my computer's running just a little bit slow, so it's just taking me a minute to get in here and slow it all down.
Right. Okay. His mother was a covert. He gained some kind of...
What do you think about that?
About his mother being a covert?
Yeah. I mean, I hear a lot of people saying often that she's a narcissist of sorts. Do you agree with that, or what do you think?
I mean, his mother had a terrible life. Her mother hated her, basically. She tried her whole life to please her mother. Oh, but I haven't seen anything. No, I don't view her as that, but I haven't looked deep enough into that. Maybe I'd look again.
Sure. Yeah.
But right now, I still kind of do view her and Ronnie, as victims, and so sometimes it's hard to get past that. Initially.
I agree with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jody said he allowed Shanann to treat him like that. He rewarded her for her behavior.
Well, that's kind of a good point. I agree with that.
T. Anders asked what Chris's IQ is. Do we know?
We don't know what Chris's IQ is. This is all what I can say about Chris's IQ. I actually do administer IQ tests. I generally administer them to children, and adolescents. The thing, a person's IQ, they say, is fixed, and it tends to not change much over time, given a few exceptions that we don't need to go into because they are not applicable here. Based on, my history of administering IQ tests and evaluating the results and reporting out the results, in my opinion, there's no way he's a 140 like he claims.
Right, exactly.
We don't know definitively what his IQ is, but I would say there's a snowball's chance in hell it's 140. 140 is a very high IQ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He told them that in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, he said it's something like 135, 140. Now, if your IQ was that high, because I think he knew what he was talking about, you wouldn't, I know what my IQ is. I know exactly what it is. I don't give it a 5-point range. I know what it is. Most people, if they do know what their IQ is, they know what it is. I don't think he would give it that range like he did with them. I think he would proudly say, "Oh, it's bloody, 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 blah."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I remember him talking to them about it. But why would he have had an IQ test? Why did he have one? But yet maybe I don't ever think I had an IQ test. You would take those standardized tests, but that never.
Well,
right?
Most people usually do have an IQ test when you're very young. Sometimes you do or don't
when you're
know about
young.
it.
Okay, you wouldn't even remember.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on. It depends on what if your parents want that information or not. Essentially.
Okay.
But what he was saying was that he had that IQ test during since he was in prison. That's what he was telling them.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm still trying to slow chat. What the heck? Why can't I ever remember how to do this? It's not something that's obvious, guys. I just want to say that. It's
it isn't.
Really
I know.
Hidden. Yeah, it's way behind the scenes.
That's right. You know what? DC made a good point. I remember when they wanted to put my son into a gifted program, and he had to. They took an IQ. He took an IQ test, and that's the same thing. She said she remembers as a child. That they wanted to put her in the gifted program, so they had to take that test. That's correct. I do.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So they will. They'll Because I remember it was my mom who eventually said, oh, this is what your IQ is or whatever. My dad was like, don't tell her what her IQ is. People aren't supposed to know that about themselves. Oh, wait. Yeah. So, here we go. Slow chat. All right. Got it. So there has to be now 60 seconds between each comment you yourself post. Okay. So there we slowed down. All right. And I'm going to remember.
Is it under settings when you have to slow it down? I forget.
You have to go to the individual live stream. So I had to go into the YouTube Creator Studio. I had to go into lives. I had to find this exact live stream, and then you go into customization, and then it's under the customization tab.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, not the obvious path, So wait, let's see. Becky Boo says he killed her emotionally. What? LOL. Well, Becky Boo, in my opinion, I think this is bouncing to Stevie because Stevie's the person who initially made that comment. I agree with Stevie about that because I think he was really playing games with her, in days and possibly weeks before her death. Now, it was either that or he was genuinely considering, taking the path of trying to get back together, of trying to heal things with Shanann. It was one or the other. And given the whole picture now, when I look at it, I tend to think he was playing games with her and killed her emotionally. I think, in my opinion, is a pretty good synopsis of what happened. What do you think, Rose?
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I agree on that.
And then Miss C.D. Isaac says, SW was abusive to him financially and mentally. I certainly don't think she meant to be abusive, but I think that, as we watch, the footage that we have of them now from this perspective of observation, it does seem like some subtle abuse. It does. Yeah. And, I'm sorry to say that, but it does. It just does.
Yes, it does.
In my opinion. Yeah.
As we are able, like we said, to look back.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, hindsight's 20/20 and all of that, but
absolutely.
Nevertheless. Now, one thing I just wanted to look at here was, so hi, Downtown Wonder. I knew I was thinking of, I saw someone I want to say hello
hi,
to. Black
Downtown.
Cadillac. Welcome. Let's see. Cash Chick says, let's just read a couple more comments here. I see them coming up. He didn't like people to think bad of him. Narcissistic people are like that, and they blame others, like their spouse. Yeah, totally. I totally agree with that. He was very concerned with his perception. Too Deep, how are you doing? Too Deep says, whoops.
Too Deep, that's a new name.
Too Deep Up Yours is the whole name. It kills you I've decided to shorten it.
Yeah, that's nice. Too Deep is, we'll stick with that.
It kills you emotionally when you're blindsided by your spouse saying they didn't love you anymore. It happened to me and it killed me inside. Oh, I'm sorry. Forever changed. I'm sorry. That's terrible, Too Deep. Yeah.
That is so cruel.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what he did to her. That's what he said. I don't love you anymore. Who the fuck says that? Even if it's true, like seriously, like no one says that. Yeah. So DTC Primetime says, no, he has a pretty high Q and can follow instructions, in my opinion. I think that he can follow instructions. I think he has a pretty high Q in as far as it's above average. The average IQ is 100. The average range of IQ is 96 to 104. Right. So I think that he's definitely above the average range, but a 140, you're approaching up near, the 97th percentile of intelligence of the entire population of humanity. He was not there.
He wasn't deaf. No. God, no. He was he was good at lists because that's what he did. Like, give him a detailed list. There's 10 things you have to do today, and he one by one get every single one done.
He was a puppy dog.
You don't have to be a genius for that.
Yeah, exactly. So Green Eyed Bandit says all prisoners get IQ tests. Thank you for that. I thought they did, but I didn't want to say that. But because I wasn't sure. They get all kinds of blood work done to find out what they have, what they don't have. But an IQ test is mandatory in prison. Trust me, I know. So it sounds like Green Eyed Bandit knows professionally or speaking from experience. Either way, I appreciate the insight. So yeah, I do believe that that's true. So thank you very much. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. So, okay. So, Dr. Phil says, and I want to just take a look at this because a lot of people make a point about like what was going on. Oops, did I shoot? I got away from that, but I'll get back to it.
Okay.
People say all sorts of things about Shanann Watts' Facebook posts in, the period of time leading up to her murders. Now, Dr. Phil is saying, in that tiny little excerpt we just heard, it was really a very like kind of dense 6 minutes of Dr. Phil speaking. There's a lot there to kind of unwrap. But he's saying, from looking at their Facebook posts, you would think that they were living this wonderful, happy life. But, those Facebook posts were one-sided. So that just made me think about all of the many comments that I see on the channel or that I hear when, I'm watching other channels or whatever the case may be here in chat. And people say, oh, Shanann she really, stopped posting in the days, the weeks, the months, the time before the murder. So I just want to take a quick look at what her posts were like leading up to the murders. Now, also in doing so, and we've done this before, but I think it's worth doing again, is to take a look at what it would have been that Kessinger would see when she was looking at Shanann Watts' Facebook post. And I say when because in my mind, there is absolutely 100% no doubt that bitch was looking at her stuff. I mean, come on now.
I know.
Right? What do you think?
No, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, she just was, guys. She was. She just was. So, okay. So now, Dr. Phil was like saying like, come on, guys, like anybody with half a brain is going to be in this day and age when you can see exactly what your potential significant other has been up to, what's been going on. Anybody is going to be looking at someone's social media. And I think that's true. I don't think it's shameful to say that you're looking at the social media of somebody that's, a perspective, somebody that you might get serious with. I think that's a smart thing to do. It's like doing your due diligence, right?
It is. It's such human nature. Yes.
It is. Yeah. So in looking at this, what Shanann was posting in days, months, weeks, leading up to her awful, horrific, terrible, and timely demise, we can see what she was up to. And we'll also see what it was Chris Watts' former mistress was seeing. And yes, Michelle Cherry, Chris is a monster. So she said that a couple times. She feels strongly about it. But so do I. I mean, he is, obviously. So, all right.
He is a total. Yes, he is.
I don't know, it's so blurry. Maybe it is just like that in the video. Okay. All right. So here we have April 29th. I miss my babies. Blessed. Now remember, the murders happened on August 13th, 2018. April 27th, she's saying, he's my rock. Now, this is Nicole Atkinson doing her hair before she appeared on stage at that Thrive convention where she was given some award for doing something. Now, I'm just going to be honest about this. I think this is one of the reasons, in my opinion, I know Michelle Gardner may or may not disagree with me on this, but I think that Shanann Watts was giving herself an artificial reputation and level of achievement in her MLM Lavelle Thrive world by paying into her own supposed revenue that she and her team were obtaining through natural sales. I think a lot of that was inflated by her. And I think that she wanted this praise and, these pats on the back. But that's just my opinion. I cannot prove that. I've been asked a million times about that. Nope, I wasn't there, but I think it's self-evident.
I know.
Yeah. So these are all pictures, leading up to, that day she was going to be on stage at that big Lavelle convention. This is August 30th or April 30th, I mean.
I was in a really, really, really bad place.
So that's a little magazine article write-up that she had about herself and her family from all of her achievements in Thrive.
And I got a friend request.
So do you know, Kelly, if she had to pay to have that article put in?
I don't think think she had to pay per se to have the article put in, but I
All right,
think
okay.
that,
I'm just asking. I had heard that before, never knew if it was just hearsay or not. Just want checking with
yeah,
you.
I don't know. I think that, you can make a line of logic that says that she ultimately paid to have that article put in because, as I said,
Well,
I think
the products,
she herself was inflating her numbers. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know about that. I mean, I'll look into it, but I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Meet him. Except, one thing led to another, and 8 years later, we have 2 kids. We live in Colorado, and he's the best thing that is ever.
Now, remember, these are all of the same things that Nicole Kessinger is going to be seeing as she's perving around Shanann Watts' Facebook pages, because we know she did. We know that on record, she looked up Chris Watts in August of 2017, Shanann Watts in September of 2017, and Shanann Watts again in January of 2018. And those are only the select items that appear in the discovery. In fact, I was pointing this out on Armchair Detective the other night. When she looked up Shanann Watts in September of 2017, that singular event is the beginning of the entire discovery official timeline. So we understand that it must have been important in the eyes of law enforcement, or it wouldn't be the very beginning of the entire timeline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
didn't look at it like that.
Yeah. I'll
Oof,
find that while I'm
never
playing this
happened to
here.
me.
Yeah.
And because of my health challenges, because I got so sick, I let him in. Ready? Hey, Jessica. How's that taste, Cece? Good? Yeah? Do you like that one better? Mm-hmm.
Me too. I like it.
What's it taste like?
You like lemon meringue pie straight out the box.
Bella, what's it taste like?
I don't like it.
You don't like that one? Bella doesn't
Oh,
like
wait.
that
Sorry.
one.
We got to.
That's
hold it.
okay.
We don't need to play all this.
You
Just
like
get through
the
this.
birthday cake, right?
So these
And
videos are cute and stuff, but let's get back to the timeline. All right, there we
he
go.
knew me at my worst.
So this was on May 4th, 2018. So this was what I was talking about, this appearance that she made on stage at this big Lavelle Whoop-Hoo event. So proud of this lady right here, hardworking mama, entrepreneur, and amazing friend. Congratulations, love. So this was one of her friends who had posted that and tagged her on Facebook.
And he accepted me. And, through your vows, like through sickness and everything, he's been there. He was the one that let me lay on him and fall asleep for 3.5 hours. He just brought out the first weight loss product ever. So, super excited about it. It's that simple. So definitely reach out to the
Here, just
person
have to watch that for a sec while I'm finding this timeline thing here.
on this, or share this with people. Hey, DJ.
Oh, my computer's going so slow right now.
Chris, say hi, DJ. So,
Okay.
Chris.
he's looking for you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, boy. Everybody's showing off their husbands.
Thanks, Christina, for having me.
Thank you guys.
Little
And have
she know
fun
he was
today.
nothing to show
Bye,
off.
Susan. Auntie loves you and misses you.
Let's see. Who's there? Come on. Almost there. Man, this timeline is long. What's going on here? Why do I hear nothing? Oh, because I had to mute this because whatever it was got a copyright ding. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
okay.
music that got copyrighted. Yeah, I hate this.
Oh, boy.
Careful, Bella, don't fall, okay?
Whack a daddy. Whack a daddy. One more time, daddy. Whack a daddy. Whack.
See, this is something I would describe as being subtle abuse. Just time and time again, it becomes that.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, Bella.
I
sweet
can't.
Bella.
I know.
So now as we move forward a little here, we're going to start to see Shanann talking about her pregnancy, about wanting to conceive a baby, about actually being pregnant with excitement.
You want a brother or a sister? You want a little sister?
Yeah.
You want to be a big sister?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yay. One of these, I think I'm uploaded. Sorry, I was just checking my upload.
You guys are so silly. Okay, let's go to school.
Let me get the ones that have dates on them here. Okay, here we go. So now remember, Kessinger, we know because she was a prolific Google searcher, was seeing all this shiznit. So we got June, what was that? Go back there. June 10th, 2018. Ready or not, Celeste, here comes Baby Watts, number 3. Now, this is like, 2 months before the murders. Shanann Watts is posting a lot. And again, this is when Nicole Kessinger would have been seeing. So just to like kind of squelch those rumors that Shanann stopped posting a couple months before, the murders, that's just like simply not true. The proof is in the pudding.
Right.
Love my sexy man. He keeps asking for things to do since he started Burn.
She thought he was getting his tan on for San Diego. Oh no.
Yeah, I know.
Oh
No. This one kills me. Chris, we are so incredibly blessed to have you. You do so much every day for us and take such great care of us. Oh, vomit. You were the reason I was brave enough to agree to number 3. From laundry to kids to showers, you're incredible. We are so lucky to have you in our lives. Happy Father's Day. That makes me want to throw up and cry all at the same time.
It does, but didn't you find it weird how they were kind of both blaming each other? Like, you wanted this baby. No, you did. I thought that was just so weird.
I thought it was too. And it's not clear to me what the real situation was.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Oops. So, here we see all this homage to Chris. I'm a proud dad, says his shirt. And as we continue to move through time here, she just is talking about, oh, I love this one. Chris is hiding in the field from a tornado. He can't make the ultrasound.
Wow.
How do you hide in a field from a tornado anyway, by the way?
What's the date on that, did you say?
It's June 19th.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's right around the time he and Kessinger had stopped talking.
Yeah. God, yes.
Hi, Lady Jenny. Steak and cheddar paninis, just what the baby Watts ordered. So, it's cute, right? But as we keep going along through, June, now she's talking about how they are going to be leaving for 6 weeks. So, this is her announcing to the world, hey, I'm going to be out of town for 6 weeks. Public service announcement. Do not announce on social media when you are going to be away from your home. For someone that's scoping out your significant other or someone who's scoping out your property. Don't do it.
Nothing was too private, though, for her, as we found out.
Right, exactly.
Oh.
So as we go along here, I just want to watch this little bit of the video with Cindy and the girls, because I think she was just such a good grandma.
She loved them.
One fell off and back his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed.
That means you do, Zizi.
She's like, yeah, right, whatever. So then here, we have this infamous
One over.
post. Bought Baby Watts' first outfit July 14th, 2018, just a little less now than 1 month before the murder. So lots and lots of posts. As we're
But she didn't
continuing
know
to
she was
move.
having a boy yet, right?
She didn't. So people have made things about that. So this is not, before I've said the North Carolina Panthers, but this is the Chapel Hill team, the what is it, the Tar Heels.
But
So
she
this
was
is just their colors.
Yeah, and he was
So
a
they were in
fan.
North Carolina. Yeah. So I think
Okay.
this is that's just their colors. That was
Okay.
actually, I looked at that college when I was looking at colleges. I loved it.
Oh,
I think,
okay.
I didn't get in because they really are loyal to people in North Carolina. Like if I was in North Carolina, my numbers and whatnot would have gotten me in there. I loved that school. The campus is gorgeous. It's beautiful, but
Wow.
nope, they didn't let me in. I was a Nova Wildcat.
Like,
Dare they?
no reason at all.
How dare they?
At all.
They didn't know. They didn't know what they were doing,
do that.
obviously.
And if that helps you guys, like, I don't know where I found that. It was in one of the books I read when I was going through hard things in life.
Well, here, it's just
on top of me. I had to do that, and I do it still to this day. I still we still have our moments where, we feel like attacking us or nothing, reassess and see why.
I'm doing something else too that's buffering it.
Why we did it, like why things happen. There's a plan. No matter what your beliefs in life are, what you believe in, there's always a plan for everything, and that's my belief anyway. I believe it, and because I'm living proof that something good comes out of everything negative. Something good comes out of everything you don't want. And when you push your comfort zone, when you go outside that comfort zone and you really step out of it, it's going to hurt. It's going to be scary. It's going to be traumatizing sometimes. But guess what? When you step back, you're going to realize, wow, that was the best feeling of my life.
Now, some people call it toxic positivity, and I think positivity can be toxic, but
the same thing as riding
as far as Shanann goes, I think she really was making a turn towards truly believing this towards the end of her life.
Like, it's exciting. It's I mean, literally when I found out I was going on stage, I think I lost 5 pounds. It was the scariest thing ever. And I was like, as long as I don't have to speak, we're good. I can do this. So, it was still scary. Like walking on stage in front of 25,000 people. I'm like, holy crap. Am I going to trip in these heels? Am I going to bust my face? What am I going to do? Like, is my hair going to be standing up? Is my skirt going to be pulled up and not realize it? I was scared. Like all of those things came through my mind, and it's just exhilarating on the other side. It's so exhilarating. And so I hope I helped somebody today, because I felt like I needed to share that. And I know I kind of rambled a little bit, and I apologize. I apologize if I don't make sense. I apologize if any of it it goes over left field. But I wanted to share, and I wanted to So
I'm trying to upload that
anyone
video that was taking me so long to upload. It's kind of, so there's Shanann, and in those prolific words that she spoke just before her death.
What I'm doing,
it's so
but
sad.
you support
no
me.
matter how you look at it.
You support me no matter what I choose to do.
The woman, that Kathleen that wrote both books, she really looks at this video very hard. Like she really thinks Shanann is very down.
Oh, really?
Yes, she does. She makes up some good points too, like almost because she's first in the house on the couch, and kind of Chris is like on the floor with the girls in the corner, and like she's almost like trying to get his attention, and like he doesn't even pick his head up.
Wow.
There is a point where too, like she swallows, and it's when you swallow, like not to almost
like you're gonna cry. Yeah.
And then she takes herself outside, and she just makes it a different way of looking at it. And
I do think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but you do look at it like there is a little bit more of a downcast than normal. More, because she talked about, she's like, the lot of negatives, but then there's the positives.
Yeah,
but
I do sense that, and I do also think.
Are you there?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I do
You're
think you
cutting
can
out.
also look at it in this way. You know, I've heard a video when she was making. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah. You were just cutting out a little bit.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
So, some people have said, you know, when she was making that video,
Mhm.
she really was, you know, speaking to this, whether she knew who it was or not, to this mistress that she knew about or that she suspected. And when you do watch that video in that light, that makes a whole lot of sense too.
Oh,
You
yes.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how
So
sad.
now, something I wanted to just show you really quick, guys, was how I had mentioned that one search for Shanann Watts, which happened in September of 2017, was the one item that headed off the entire official timeline in the discovery, that 1,960-page discovery about the murder. So it's right here. See, before that, we have a summary of all of the different phones that were downloaded and that provided evidence within this documentation. And then the very first item on this official timeline is, can you see that?
It's small. It's small. Yeah.
Okay, but it's there. Okay, that's
but it's
fine.
there.
So,
Yeah. It's there.
yeah.
Mhm.
So the first, whoops, hold it. Going all over the place here. So hold it. Let me close that. Okay, there we go. It says September 1st, 2017, Kessinger searched the internet for the name Shanann Watts. Now, when you look at the notation underneath, it says 43, which was the item number of Nicole Kessinger's phone. And then it says timeline 2,290. So when you look at the different information that was uploaded from Nicole Kessinger's phone much further along the line, it's much higher in the thousands, like 50,000, 60,000. So the fact that we're going back to 2017 and this was item number 2290 makes a whole lot of sense. You know, there's been some speculation. You know, at some point it was said, oh, this was a mistake. Oh, no, it wasn't a mistake. I mean, in my opinion, the fact that this is the first item that heads up the entire official timeline of this tragedy in the discovery says to me that authorities knew that was not a mistake, or else it wouldn't have been in that prominent positioning, in my opinion.
I 100% agree on that. Yeah, that's strategically there for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think it is. So, hey, would you mind picking up a couple comments there in the chat? I'm trying to upload now this video so we can watch it.
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
I hope it works. My God.
I know.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
slow mode is on, guys. Yes.
Slow mode is on. I mean, I can make it slower in a minute if you need me to, but that's what it is for now.
Stevie said, sorry, what book is this? Oh, there's two books, Stevie. One is All My Broken Pieces? All My Broken Pieces. Are you still reading the other book, Rose? Yeah, we're going to finish it tonight. We only have 4 chapters to go. And that one is Blood and Marriage. Yeah, it's very, it's excellent. Excellent. Let me see here. Shanann thought money grew on trees. Well, yes, she did. Jody said Shanann seems quite depressed in a video where she's in the room with Cece. I don't remember. I don't know.
There's the one you're just talking about that she was just that we were just playing.
I don't know.
She has a purple shirt on.
I don't know, because Cece, more than Cece, they were all in the room. In fact, the author makes it a point to just say the only one that came up to her was Cece, but she was all over the place on a normal day anyway.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I think it's going to work here.
Oh, good. Awesome.
So if it does work, this is going to be Ashleigh Oops, go ahead.
Black Cadillac asks, why was she searching her? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, that is totally a matter of speculation.
Yeah. Oh, good. You have it? It came up? It uploaded for you, Kel?
Yeah, I think it's going to. Fingers crossed. Hasn't gone through yet. I'm in the process still.
All right. I'll be excited.
Yeah. I'm uploading a couple of them, but this one happens to be Ashleigh Banfield and some other people that were on her show speculating about the murders, right after they happened.
I do remember that episode. I love Ashleigh Banfield.
I do too.
I just
She's
remember
like
her
the
from
bomb.
the Afghanistan war. Like,
Yep.
she was over there. Like,
She was
she was
in
a
it,
tough
man.
cookie. Yeah.
She was in it.
Yes, she was. All right. Green-eyed bandit. That is a good point. It's sad.
Mhm.
That's probably the only time the girls got to sleep together as sisters was in North Carolina. That's very sad, but true, actually.
Yeah.
And they got to go to the beach. They did, and there's pictures of them where they're on Santa's lap. It's like they did everything, like almost like they did everything they possibly could, like as if they knew, not that they knew they were going to die, but like they saw that they got to
Right.
see the beach. They got to have Christmas in July, thankfully. Like they both, and
Right.
they actually both sat on Santa's lap and talked to him and
Mhm.
were not hysterical.
Right. Oh my God, those poor little things.
I
Ugh.
know.
Oops. No, don't cancel upload. No, don't do that. Okay. We're getting there.
Okay. Honey Bun says, I think CW was smart, but when he was under pressure, he became an idiot.
Oh my God.
That's a good way of looking at it. Carolyn Hullock asked, wonder if her ex-husband was ever interviewed. He was. He doesn't say much.
He was in the discovery documents, the interviews there. Yeah.
Very minimal. Downtown Wonder, it's painfully clear Shanann disses CW constantly when he does try to engage on videos. Yes, I know he's a monster. I know. I know. Yeah, it's like you have to let that little disclaimer in before everybody jumps on you. That's too funny. But yeah, I agree. No, she was not. Nicole Kessinger was not working at Anadarko in 2017. She did not start until, was it April of 2018? March. So yeah, it was way off. There was no reason why she should have even known who the hell they were, but what do we know?
Right.
Cindy said he was out of pressure. He was under pressure when Shanann was around. Yeah, she does say that a lot. We also have to realize he never had a girlfriend before. He didn't even know how to act.
Insane. That's so crazy.
It is. Timothy's like, I was curious about the child care. She had difficulty with being home all day with them. Just an opinion. No, it's a good, I mean, I agree with you. She did have issues with being able to handle it all. And she did, even though she worked from home, she still considered it like a 9 to 5 almost kind of job and just couldn't have them around. Or even when she wanted to bake for the holidays, they were at school. She said, I made Chris bring them to school or I'd get nothing done. She had a hard time reining it all in.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She was easily overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah, I know. Diane said, check out Bella's curls when they're on the bed with Cindy. That final summer she had her hair was really growing and pretty.
Her hair was growing in. She looked healthy. She had some meat on her bones. There's pictures where she actually had these radiant smiles. So beautiful.
Yeah, it's so sad. Miss Raven said if he was so upset about Shanann telling him that he wouldn't see the kids again, why did he cut their lives off and permanently not see them again?
I mean, that is a legit question.
Good
ain't
question.
It? I mean,
If he did say that, that came from Chris, right? That's what he said
right.
happened in the morning.
That's right.
So what do we?
That's right.
Take that with a grain of salt.
That's right.
Mm.
That is 100% true.
Oh, Nilda's here. Nilda said hello to us, Kelly.
Hi, Nilda. How are you doing, sweetheart? It's nice to see you here. Okay, so the video that I'm uploading, it's still like taking a while. Now I'm putting it onto YouTube. It's still taking forever, but we're going to look at something else here that from Ashleigh Banfield.
Yeah, all right. Because someone also asked, I think it might have been Kurt, is Nancy, do we have anything on, like any tapes on it with Nancy Grace talking about it? Is there any video?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yes, yeah. Kurt, we got it. It's coming, Kurt.
We got my girl, Nancy Grace. Don't you worry. Okay, we're going to take a look at here at Ashleigh Banfield right now. So let's just see what she has to say. So this is from, I don't know, this is a random one. Honestly, I didn't even watch this beforehand, but I was able to find this. Let's see. Let's see. Let's hold it. Let me pick the best one here. I just found a couple. They're not going to be my uploads. I'll just give credit to whoever it's due. Well, let's see what she has to say here. So this is Ashleigh Banfield on Chris Watts. It says baby monitor demo, Shanann Watts Facebook activity to September 2018. Interesting, Ashleigh. I just talked about that. All right, let's see here. At Watts Obsession, DTC Primetime is looking for a link to come up. I'll put that up in just a little bit. I'm trying to upload something, and I'm already slow. The more activity I have going on, the slower it uploads. Darn it.
Is that? Oh my God! Yeah, it is going fast. I gotta go back there.
Do we need to slow down chat even more?
If you can.
Yeah, no big deal. I can do it.
Because I get to really read them all. I'm going back. Look how pretty. Wow, that's a beautiful picture of it.
We love Ashleigh. Here we go. Here's our girl, Ashleigh. Oops.
Because if Chris Watts said he went downstairs for a moment and then came back upstairs to the master bedroom and witnessed his baby Bella.
Oh, this looks like actually, I see a print here. So it looks like it might be Kimberly, who is now, I think she's like Swear Kimberly.
Yes, yeah.
I thought this was directly from HLN News, but it might be from Kimberly. Her channel now is called Swear Kimberly. Oh my God. She's a
funny.
Freaking hoot. She's so funny. If you are not a subscriber, go subscribe now. And Kimberly, I thought this was directly from HLN. It looks like it might be your channel. Thank you. I'm going to put her.
Yeah, she's cool.
I'm going to link her in chat in just a minute. Let me go slow down the chat first, but let's listen.
Okay.
Sprawled out in blue on the bed. We wanted to know how difficult that might be. So I want you to look, if you will, at the size of the baby monitor. The camera that's pointing at me and this baby monitor right here, which is smaller than an iPhone 7. Camera's about 10 to 15 feet away. So you are now looking at the baby monitor 10 to 15 feet across the bedroom, the master bedroom, where Chris Watts says he witnessed his daughter Bella blue. Can you tell?
Yeah.
Now you're about 5 feet away. Now you're about 4, 3. Now you're getting right up close and personal. Your face is about 2 to 3 feet away.
At this time, they were still anticipating this was going to go to trial.
Now, the lights are on in the room where Bernice is waving to you. And so it's bright color. It's as bright color as you're going to see. On the right-hand side is the baby monitor image of one of their children. The lights look to be low, but you can see the face of that baby. And you are about a foot away from the screen looking at the actual baby, because the monitor is so small. You'd have to be that close for it to appear that big.
90 seconds.
Now look at Bernice's coloring.
Comments.
She's wearing a blue shirt. You can definitely see her blue shirt. But can you tell the color of her face with the lights on? This is 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, Chris says. So perhaps the lights were on, but maybe more likely they were off.
They were off.
So let's turn the
trust
lights
me.
off and see if that changes anything in the color of Bernice's face. It will be critical. It will be critical to Chris's argument as to whether he could tell little Bella was blue. Because right now, even her blue shirt looks the same color as her pants, as the wall, as everything else. And her face, which, by the way, look to the right, is the same circumference as the little baby's face in the monitor. I don't know about you, but I sure can't tell at all if that face is pink or blue or bright purple or green or any other color for that matter.
Gracious.
So very critical to get Troy Slayton in on this. As a defense attorney, how do you overcome something like these images? Because you just know that in any prosecution, they're going to do the exact same thing I just did.
Well, it strains credulity. And certainly the jury is going to be asked to apply their common sense, to apply everything that they know about the world. And if the defense attorneys ask the jury to believe something that is clearly not true, then it's going to remove all credibility that the defense attorneys have. And that's going to be added to the prosecution's argument that everything that Chris has said up to this point has been a lie.
Let's start in February. That was the month that she went to Vegas. She went with Chris and seemed to be completely happy. Nothing wrong in February. In March, when there were 6 videos, they seemed to be pretty good videos. In fact, here she is posting a video with little Cece playing with her dad's hair.
Enjoy here.
No, honey, do daddy's.
Daddy's the guinea pig today, okay? Oh my gosh, Cece. Oh my gosh.
Homie.
You do it.
You do it.
You got it.
You got it, see? Just don't go through my skull. She's shaking.
Here you go.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Everything seems fine in that family. In April, the video shot up to 18. This was a really big month for Shanann. She was featured in her company magazine. Her career seemed to be fantastic. She even went to New Orleans on a business trip. There she is showing herself in this incredible feature. Her team was even honored in New Orleans. She went to New Orleans, however, without Chris. But it didn't seem to matter, because the next month, her video shot up to 18, and it was a big month for her and Chris together. It was Chris's birthday, and on May 16th, this is what she wrote in her social media. The girls want to wish you a happy birthday. They have the best daddy in the world. You do so much every day for all of us, and you come home and play and read to them. They love you so much. In June, 14 videos. June is the time that Shanann decides it's time to tell Chris they're expecting. And no one will forget this video that shows she's so happy to put together. She just wants him to be surprised. Watch.
We did it again. So pink means...
That's just the test.
I know. There's just the pink is gonna be girls.
I don't know.
Guess when you want to, it happens.
That was June the 11th. On June the 22nd through till the 26th, Shanann got another one of those amazing trips from work. This time it was San Diego, a reward trip, and she took Chris this time. And the pictures showed a couple that seemed to be nothing more than in love, seriously in love. Here they are in the hotel in San Diego, posting a little bit about how it's going.
We're here in San Diego. I have no idea what we're gonna do today. We might hit the pool up when it gets warmer. Hopefully it clears up today, like everyone says it does. And we can go. He's helping me get the bag situated real quick.
What up? What's going on?
What's going on, he says. But you saw him, didn't you? You saw Chris in the background there in San Diego in the hotel room. That was the last time you would ever see Chris in her Facebook videos again. And again, this is just June 22 through 26. That's the last flash video of Chris. A couple more photographs where he's featured in the backdrop, but no more videos of Chris being posted after that.
No, there
They
are.
get back from San Diego
Yeah.
on the 26th,
Yeah,
and
there are
8
videos.
hours later, Shanann is already packing for that summer trip with the kids to North Carolina, where she's going to spend 6 weeks with her family, and he's going to come for the last week of it. But what happens 4 days after she gets there to North Carolina? 4 days after she's there with her kids and her family, enjoying her time and presumably missing her husband, right? This is what she posts
Oh, I'm
on
sure
June
she missed
30th.
him.
Chris is living the bachelor life.
Aw.
Ate T-bones for dinner the last 3 nights and bought shrimp with the shrimp
Aw.
emoji and goodies. He's sleeping in and working out. Can I remind you, this is June 30th. And the arrest affidavit
Shanann.
suggested he was
Yeah.
actively involved with someone from work, who a police source tells us was a woman at work, who a police source tells us admitted, that woman at work admitted she was in that affair with Chris Watts. And People Magazine source says she is helping them and that she's not considered part of this in any other way, criminally speaking. Okay, the videos drop precipitously. As I showed you before, only on Facebook is one picture, but no mention of him in that photo. Here's one of the videos, one of the 5. It's Cece's birthday party in North Carolina.
Aw. Aw, little sweetheart.
Well, that would be the last known video ever posted on her social media. That's it. And in fact, the only thing posted after that would be a handful of photos, just about 6 or so, from a woman who posted dozens upon dozens every month. In August, 0 videos, not one. And just think about how strange that is. Because in August, Chris finally came to join his family in North Carolina. 5
No.
weeks they've been without him.
The
5
ocean
weeks the little
video,
girls
the
will be
airport
missing their
video.
dad.
When was that?
Right.
The end of July?
Yeah. Oh,
But he
yeah, that
was
was the
there.
very end of July. Yeah, yeah.
That's, I guess, yeah.
I mean, I'm going to assume if Ashleigh Banfield's saying it that it's true, but I'm still going to check up on it. But maybe that is true. I guess that she did, because what was going on then? So Chris came down to North Carolina. I think it was on July 30th or 31st.
It was the end of July.
Today is July 30th. Is there a 31st tomorrow? Yes, I think there is, right?
Yeah, there. Yeah, yeah.
So
It was the
those
very
days,
end.
4 years ago from today. And then he was there for about a week. I think they returned home on around the 7th. I'm not sure. It might be a day or
Right.
two off. So yeah, so it was the very end of their trip. They were traveling around, going to Myrtle Beach, whatnot. Then she was flying home. As her friends say, the poor thing was getting very tired. She was in that tiring stage of pregnancy. She was suspecting something was going on. She was, being like emotionally, tortured by him, in my opinion. I think that she was. And so maybe she did slow down with her post, but like right at the very, very end,
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what else she says here. Oops.
5 weeks would go by, and when Dad was arriving in North Carolina, imagine how excited those kids would be. Imagine how excited a loving wife might be. Imagine the potential for the videos and the pictures and the Facebook posts, and there's not one.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So gosh, it's hard stuff to watch.
It's very
that was
heavy.
very hard to watch.
Yes,
Let me
it
see if
is.
that one video is done buffering yet. I have something from
Okay.
Nancy Grace here, or it's on because it's causing buffering. So they've got buffering on the mind here. Let me see.
I love me some Nancy Grace.
I love me some Nancy Grace too.
Oh,
Nancy,
can you imagine Nancy and Ashleigh together questioning NK? How beautiful that could have been.
Oh my God, Nancy is like hardcore. They should have put her
Dream
right
team.
in front of that empanada.
Yes.
You would have been like, bring the big bucket of popcorn,
Yes.
extra butter. It's on. Yeah.
They would have been such a dream team. Oh.
Oh gosh, that's for sure. Oh my goodness. All right, let me bring in the Nancy Grace. Some of the
Great.
Nancy. It was
Awesome.
hard to find some. I have that Nancy Grace on Dr. Phil that I
Right.
posted to the channel about a week ago. We can definitely play some of that. I can tell you what the highlights are of that episode. I was going to not play it because I know I'm going to get a copyright for that.
Don't do it. I thought there was one on her own show. No.
Well, there are some on her own show, but here, let's see what we've got here. I think that this is a
Okay.
good one.
I hate to see you get a copyright and then
It's not. It's just like there's copyright strikes. Those are like
they won't. Do they demonetize on something like that?
They just won't let that particular video monetize. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the end of the world. I mean,
No. Okay. Just so it's not.
that just happens anyway because of the stuff that we talk about. They're like,
true.
We don't like that. It happens in most live streams. It's not a big deal.
Level,
Right.
just talking about some more recent cases as well. There's a constant cycle of shock when we see a case like Chris Watts. But we've seen Scott Peterson, which we know you've covered. We know that most female victims, there's an intimate partner violence, or that's what may lead to them being murdered. Why do you think we're still shocked by so many of these types of cases?
I think that crime is shocking now as it was at the very first murder with Cain and Abel. And I remember trying so many cases, and I would look over at the defendant in court with the jury seat looking at him, but I would be looking at him. And sometimes it didn't fit together. Like you see this clean, like Scott Peterson, or who did you say? Chris Watts? Let's talk about Chris Watts. He had it all, right? He's got this gorgeous wife, Shanann. He's got the children, Bella and Celeste. Beautiful. They always wanted a boy. They're having baby Nico. He's on the way. Beautiful home. Honey, when I looked in the house, they even had the same lamps that I have in one of our bedrooms. I looked and looked until I found that lamp.
Those details.
Where was it? Don't tell me. Pier 1. And I looked at her home, and it was so beautiful. She had spent so much time decorating it. And if you look at children, Bella and Celeste, they were always turned out beautifully. What I'm saying is, it looked like a postcard. It was perfect. And so when you look at somebody like Chris Watts in court, this picture perfect setting, it's hard. It's like the mind is tricking the eye. You see one thing, but the evidence tells you something very different. That he, in fact, is a cold-blooded killer who killed his own children. So I think that's the fascination. It's like trying to put together a Rubik's Cube, and you can't sort it out in your head.
Yeah, it feels like we're in this kind of wave of true crime resurgence where, victim advocacy is really at the forefront of a lot of documentaries. But do you think a case like Casey Anthony would ever go away from public view?
Top Mom Casey Anthony is never going away from the public view, and I'll tell you why. Because of Top Mom Casey Anthony. As long as she's alive, she's going to be pulling one shenanigan after the next. And it's still an open wound for me, because I think of Kelly Anthony, 2-year-old Kelly. That's what that case was all about, not about Top Mom. And I think about her and how old she would be right now, getting ready for senior prom tonight, maybe. I mean, I don't know. But that's what I think about. So that case will never go away from me.
No.
And of course, she keeps it in the news by doing things like showing up at a bar wearing hot pants, asking guys to have drinks.
I love Nancy.
It just never ends. That's exactly what she was doing while Kelly was missing.
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace.
Some things never change.
Where's that coming from?
He
Okay.
claimed
I don't
he
know.
didn't
What
know
is
what
that?
happened to his pregnant
I don't
wife,
know. Wait, I
Shanann,
think
or their
it's
two
this
little
video. Hold
children.
it.
Okay.
He claimed nothing at all was wrong. Well, actually, he murdered all three of them, 4 if you count the unborn baby Nico. But now we learn in the last hours, killer dad Chris Watts, behind bars right now for 4 murders, is actually concerned about what the public will think about him.
Oh,
how he is being portrayed in the Netflix new documentary, American Murder.
Well, I mean, this is a good statement to all of those who are saying, you know, how concerned Chris Watts is with his appearance to the public. And man, he was. That was like what others saw him to be is basically who Chris Watts saw himself to be. He was always defining himself based on how others defined him. And all of you that said that, I think it's very accurate.
It is
about
accurate.
Watts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, that really takes the cake. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us here. Fox Nation and Sirius XM 111. First of all, is the Netflix documentary right or wrong? Does it skew one way or the other? And why is Watts so worried about his image, how he is being portrayed? Is it more me by Chris Watts? Take a listen to this.
My name's Nicole, and I'm calling because I'm concerned about a friend of mine. I dropped her off at her house at 2 in the morning last night, and I haven't been able to get a hold of her this morning. I've gone to her house, and her car is there. She won't answer phone calls. She won't answer text messages. Her name, Shanann Watts.
Thank you, Teresa.
Hey guys, my name is Shanann. I just want you to know a little bit of my story. I went through one of the darkest times of my life, and then I met Chris. And he's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
So how you doing? There was no note or anything? I don't know what to do right now.
Yes, Holly, I'll do that.
Those words from Shanann Watts, we know now dead, along with all three of her children, have an eerie echo. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. That was from the American Murder, The Family Next Door on Netflix, which has really dropped a lot of bombshells. Remember, Chris Watts pled guilty. We never got all the information, but now we are. Why don't you take a listen to a tiny bit more of that Netflix trailer?
I've done everything in my heart to make my family's life better.
Don't eat turtle. I don't eat turtle. I was thinking about, like, did I cause this? Did I make her feel like she needs to leave?
She said things were bad and that she didn't know what was going on with Chris. I'm worried this is completely unlike her.
My mom just thought she was good enough.
Do you have any idea if he thought his wife had a boyfriend?
Maybe she sat there and thought about it. Waited to stay here. Like, if he doesn't love me, maybe I should just go.
Did she accuse you of anything? I tortured him. I rejected him. Did you promise Shanann to take care of it? We're not promised tomorrow. We're not promised anything. There's only one person in this room that knows what this is. In about 5 minutes, there's going to be 2 of us.
You know, what struck me in part of that trailer is Chris Watts sounding like he's trying to cry, saying, my mom never thought Shanann was good enough for me. Man, how the tables have turned. Let me introduce to you our all-star panel with some very special guests. Ashleigh Wilcott, judge and trial lawyer, Anchor Court TV at ashleighwilcott.com. New York psychologist Karen Stark at KarenStark.com, joining us from Manhattan. Bobby Chacon, former special agent with the FBI, now screenwriter for Criminal Minds, professor of forensics, Jacksonville State University, author of Blood Beneath My Feet on Amazon.
Okay, pause a minute. I'm just going to bite the bullet and I'm going to play the Dr. Phil episode with Nancy Grace on it because I think that has the most meaty material. But we did have a request to review the criteria, the diagnostic criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. So I will fulfill that request as I think it is pertinent to the case and hear that term thrown around so incredibly much, right, Rose?
Yeah.
We talk about that sometimes. It's really
Yes,
fun.
we
I
do.
mean, I do think that there are several personalities that are involved in this, tragic story that do fit at least some of the criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. So let's take a look. All right, diagnostic criteria. The DSM, so what are we looking at here? 4 provides the following set of diagnostic criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. A pervasive pattern of grandiosity in fantasy or behavior, need for admiration, a lack of empathy, beginning by early adulthood and present in a variety of contexts. So, as we like to say, across a range of settings and time. So, chronology and settings, these qualities are exhibited. It's indicated by 5 or more of the following. Has a grandiose sense of self-importance, for example, exaggerates achievements and talents, expects to be recognized as superior without commensurate achievements, is preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. Next bullet point. Believes that he or she is special and unique and can only be understood by or should associate with other special or high status people or institutions. Requires excessive admiration. Has a sense of entitlement, for example, unreasonable expectations of especially favorable treatment or automatic compliance with his or her expectations. Is interpersonally exploitive, for example, takes advantage of others to achieve his or her own ends. Next, lacks empathy, is unwilling to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others. Next, is often envious of others or believes that others are envious of him or her. Shows arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes. This goes on to say, the person with narcissistic personality disorder has, bullet point 1, vulnerable self-esteem, bullet point 2, reacts intensely to perceived humiliation, bullet point 3, experiences feelings of emptiness, bullet point 4, outwardly appears disdainful of criticism and defeat. In the workplace, this individual may experience difficulties due to their intolerance for criticism and competition. Although they may appear self-confident, even haughty, this person may be, bullet point 1, inwardly experiencing feelings of deep shame. Bullet point 2, subject themselves to severe self-criticism. Bullet point 3, be prone to withdraw socially due to fear of competition and or criticism. Then this person cites Roggenstorm and Cooper, both describe a number of commonly seen clinical presentations of narcissistic personality disorder. Click on these links for more about the arrogant, overt narcissist, the shy, covert narcissist. And then there's a chart that's comparing various DSM criterion for this disorder. Yikes. What do y'all think?
Yikes. Yikes.
Oh, thank you very much, DTC Primetime. I appreciate the super chat. She says, Kate was there that morning, nothing further. I know. I already did, but you said that. I absolutely.
I know.
Absolutely.
It's exhausting.
I know. She was there, man. I know. I just want to say hi to a couple people. Hi, K's. Welcome. Nice to see you. Oh, and thank you very much. The channel has been growing very quickly, and I thank all of you, new and old school friends, to the channel. Hi, Colin Watts. What did Colin Watts have to say here? Is your last name really Watts? Ooh,
oh my gosh.
Utter, it's actually sad. Holly S. I deal with it all myself from long-term exposure, and also you take on some narcissistic personality disorder traits as a coping mechanism. Oh wow. So are you were close with somebody with narcissistic personality disorder? I'm sorry if you want to talk about it or not. It was kind of a personal comment to pin, but if you'd like to talk about it, I'd like to hear more about what you have to say. And then, hi Timothy. Hi, welcome. How are you doing? Welcome to the channel. Timothy says, can you imagine putting this out there, not knowing what he's doing? The way she put out info on Facebook, it was as if she was documenting what she wanted her life to be. So sad. Oh, that really rings through me. Yeah.
It is what she wanted it to be, really.
I know. so sad. Hi, Leah. How are you? Oh, this is a good point. So Leah says, if CW lawyered up like Gary Morphew and got his lawyers, no matter what the truth is, the investigation and evidence was, he still have walked. I absolutely positively think he would have walked if he had one freaking lawyer working on this case.
Yep.
What do you think, Rose?
Oh, I 100%. I still can't believe he didn't lawyer up. When he's sitting there so cocky, taking that polygraph, and instead he should have been lawyering up, but he didn't. I can't understand it. I really feel he would be a free man today.
I know. I feel he would have too. It's wild. I mean, my God, yeah. Yeah.
On what we know. Like, we don't know the swab and the analysis results. On what we know.
No, that's right. Well, hey, maybe if he had a lawyer, the lawyer would have compelled investigators to actually analyze the evidence that they collect that they never bothered to analyze, because a lawyer can do that. They can compel investigators to take it a little further with, I don't know all the exact parameters. I'm not a lawyer or an investigator, but I know that certainly has been done before.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Jackie C. How are you? What does Jackie C say? Oh, hi, Maggie Bridget. How are you? It's okay. You missed the time, but here we are. I'm glad you're here. Jackie C said she was posting on Facebook. She was in a such and such program in nursing school, but they checked out the program and she didn't exist. Well, I think, okay, what I would want to know is who checked out the program and found out she didn't exist, because due to privacy regulations, I don't know how anybody would be able to do that outside of an investigator. If it was an investigator, possibly, but still probably not. But I do think that she was in a nursing program. In fact, would you mind reading a couple of comments?
Yeah, I mean, the program exists, but when you read the second book, she even took the loan out, but then did not go through with the program and spent the loan money on everything but going to school.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was a 10,000.
I know people that do that. My stepsister is like the champ of doing that shit.
Yeah.
So
it was, I believe, I want to say $10,000. It was a $10,000 to $15,000 loan. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so, and again, guys, Curious Rose is reading the book Blood and Marriage that was written by Kathleen something or other Houston.
Yeah.
It's based on Cindy Watts' story. Apparently, she and Cindy Watts used to be friends. They are no longer. Curious Rose is going to be reading the last part of that book live after this live stream. If you want to catch it out, catch it tonight. If you didn't catch the earlier two readings, you can grab them on her channel. If you guys can post it in chat at Curious Rose.
It's something else. It is something
else. That official word. Something else.
Wow.
Oh boy.
God.
Oh. Yeah, if you can pick up a few comments.
Let's see. Yeah, let me grab this chat. Let me go back a bit. Holly, I said he could have had a psychotic break. I feel like having one listening to her go on and on about baby wise and health challenges. Can't imagine being married to that. It would be very difficult, Holly. But in most cases, a normal man would divorce. But
exactly. So, and I just want to say this, like, loud and proud. We are in no way saying that Shanann or those children deserve to die. My God, hell no, never. Nor are we saying that she had any fault in her own murder or the murder of her children.
That's correct.
Standard disclaimer, but I mean it wholeheartedly.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Hi, Aussie Jen. We love Aussie Jen.
She's wonderful. I love that girl. Good. Chica. So many good chicas and chicos. And empanadas.
Oh, chicken lady must have just came in to say hello to us. I would have loved to have.
I know, yeah. I think
That's
she's
sweet, though.
trying to show the support, but
that's great.
She just got done going through cancer treatment.
I know,
she just
it's unreal.
Pneumonia, so I know. I'm always shocked when she even shows up, and we just pray that she continues to do well.
Yes, we have lots of love for her.
Yes, we do.
Oh, that's great, everybody that's enjoying the book. Thank you. And I'm having a
awesome.
hell of a time reading it to you guys. It's good. We've been having happy tears and sad tears.
Aw.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, Kelly. You have to just pull up your Kindle app on your phone, and I'll just send it to you because you'll be able to give yourself 2 days and 2 nights, and you can't put it down.
Oh, awesome! I know it sounds awesome.
You
for
can't
real.
put it down. You'd say they should have stopped at the wedding and turned around and went their separate ways, but they didn't. That's all I'm gonna say.
God,
And you'll know what I mean when you get to the wedding. You'll be like, "Where am I? Where did I land?"
No.
Oh
I
yes.
can't believe I've never read that book. I can't wait.
I can't believe it either. Molson is I'm happy. I'm just happy Molson. And Molson has an email correspondence friendship with this woman, so he's gonna get her to come on my show, which will be fantastic. I know.
That's terrific. I can't wait. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm happy he read the book a while back. He didn't even remember some of it. I had to remind him because it's been a bit for him.
Huh. Molson, man, you better work on your memory. Less edibles, more studying.
He loves his edibles. He thought he was texting his wife the other night, but he texted me and he's like, "Can I have a piece of chocolate?" And I texted back, "Nope." And then he's like, that was for Jess and it wasn't normal chocolate. I said, okay, because for a minute I'm like, is he not allowed chocolate?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's so something else.
Wait, sorry for this audio here. This video is running through. I just want to hold it. Wait. Here, you know what? Here, I'm going to show it to you. Never mind. If you can keep just reading those comments, I'm going to find it in a different form here.
What is the name of the book? I'll put it in here. Seabreeze. That's a cool name. I'm reading. It's called Blood and Marriage, and Kelly has been like doing excerpts from all my broken pieces. It's the same author, totally different angles. Is the best way I can say the difference in the books.
Yeah, it sounds it. Yeah.
Cindy Watts.
I mean, they really are like tell-alls. Yeah.
Oh, good. I mean, she became friends with her and got really heavy inside information, and also then was just watching the dynamics of the family. And that's when I'll tell you her perspective, when she'll let you know Cindy Watts' point of view versus then it'll be the author's point of view. Her point of view, it's fantastic. The way she writes it, everybody is agreeing, and like it gives you a whole other insight into this group.
That's
so
really
yeah.
It's very interesting. Wait, hold it. There's gonna be a volume for a minute though, because I just want to get to this. I can't find it in my files. I gotta just get to this one part here. All right, hold it. It's gonna come back around. Aw. Well, it's a short, so it can't be longer than 60 seconds.
Okay.
Hold it. Okay, so here, let me just share this with you really quick. So just as far as, the question of her being in this nursing program or not, this is the only evidence I have of it. So I'm going to share what I have. So this is, I've posted little parts of this before. This is actually from Shining Light. It's one of those, you know how when you're on Facebook, I mean, I never go on Facebook anymore, but when I was on it a lot, like a couple of times a year, it'll give you like your year in review or whatever, this cute little clip of, your posts and the special things as far as they know that's like happened in your life that year. It seems like it was one of these for Shanann. So I'm sorry that I can't make it any bigger, but for some reason I can't. But I'm just going to play this. And again, this is only evidence that I have of being in the nursing program, other than the fact that, I did, incorporate several posts of hers into videos I did with her talking about the nursing program. So, I mean, other than that, I don't know what to say about it. So here we go. Oops, hold it slow. Okay.
Look. All right.
So right there, we have, it says Shanann Watts, and then it says some specific program that she's in. So she did have an identification badge with her name on it and her face on it that said she was in this program. So as far as evidence towards her attempt at that program, that's all we got, folks. I just wanted to share it with you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ara. Troll is on, says Ara. Thank you, Ara, my wonderful queen of the...
Who said eating food? Oh, Holly, eating food in front of your hungry kids. That definitely lacks empathy. That used to make me nuts. That I mean, I think it was Bella that just started, like, she felt so defeated and just started to cry because Shanann, like, ate that pro bar first.
I know.
It was a hard one to watch.
No. Does everyone know what we're talking about there?
What's that?
I was asking if everyone knows what video we're talking about, or if I should show that video, but I don't know if I should or not.
Let's see if they. Let's see.
Does anyone want to see that video? Screw it. We reference it a lot. I'm going to show it.
Okay. Can't hurt.
Can't hurt. Whatever. It's out there. I mean, I didn't post it. So that's what I've resorted to saying. I didn't post it.
Yeah.
All right. Hold it. Let me get it up here. Computer running so slow for an upload. We won't even see tonight. But listen, there's a couple videos I did want to show parts of tonight that I don't know. My computer's running really slow. They're going to be posted on the channel probably right after this live stream and consecutively. So maybe we'll do a part 2 of this. I have more to show on this topic also.
Yeah, I agree. Because this is a big one. You know, these are you have a lot of big major. These are big hitters, and had a lot to say about this case. I think it deserves a 2-part.
I think there's so much that I'm just realizing I have so much more planned that I can't possibly get to. So we'll do a part 2. That'll be the next live stream I do. So. Yeah, good. I'm glad that you're telling me.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is. It's a lot, and you really want to cover it all. So give yourself that time.
Yeah, totally. You're right.
Yeah. Someone had asked, "Are there any videos of the girls eating?" And then one of the answers were marshmallows and chocolate chips, and that is the truth. We saw a lot of that. We saw Cece eating one steak and some corn on the cob, and cereal once, but that. Very minimal real meals at that. Yeah.
All right, so get ready for this.
Okay.
All right. Let me make sure the volume's all the way up. All right.
Hey everybody, so I'm a hot mess. Disregard.
Oh, this resolution is horrible. Sorry.
You know what I look like. But I don't care. Don't mind. Raw Shanann. Here's a mess for the win today. It's been ridiculous. Bella, say hi. So, hold on. We can have some in a minute.
How bad is that resolution?
But guess
it's not horrible. No, it's not horrible.
All right.
Arrived today. So I'm gonna wait for everyone to hop on. You guys are not gonna believe this. So again, I apologize. I am a hot mess. I don't care. Just arrived. It's amazing. And I'm going to go live when Chris gets here because it will kill me if I tried these without him. But hold on. 2 cinnamon rolls and 2 cake batter, or whatever they decided to call it. The Pro Bars. I got 2 of each flavor. I'm so excited. Chris should be here any minute, and tell us that, please. We can't open them yet. And as soon as he gets here, I think he's actually pulling in. So if he is, again, don't mind me. I'm a hot mess. I need a shower, but I don't care. I'm getting ready for Vegas. I had to take Bella to the doctor, make sure she was good from her flu last week. So I apologize in advance. Oh my God, Amanda, I'm so excited. Steve, Aaron, hey guys, hey Kim,
Oh my God, I'm so excited. So Chris is actually pulling in. It is just one of those days. So, yes, baby.
I want to buy this.
You want a laptop? Okay. She wants a laptop. Guess what we do with that? When you want something, we add it to your vision board, right? Right? Don't we add it to your vision board?
I just want to know that she
When
said
we want something, we add it to our vision board. So I'm holding the phone. My phone may even die. So
she said, I want to bite this. She's like, oh, she wants a laptop. But what she said was, I want to bite this.
Apologize in advance on everything. So I can't wait for Chris. Bella, will you hold the phone for mommy so I can open this? All right, I have a 4-year-old holding the phone, so apologize. What flavor is this? Cinnamon roll and birthday cake. Okay, so what should I try first? Hold this up, baby. Cinnamon roll or birthday cake? Which one first? Mine aren't here yet. Cinnamon roll, birthday cake. Which one? Bella likes holding the phone, so I apologize if it's shaky. All right, comments, hearts if you want cinnamon roll. Or write cinnamon roll down at the bottom. I really am a birthday cake kind of person, so.
I want cinnamon roll.
You want cinnamon roll? Okay. So let's, don't shake the baby. So we're going to try birthday cake first. I think everyone's saying birthday cake. Hopefully I don't die. Hold the phone up, baby. All right, so birthday cake it is. I can't wait for Chris. He'll have to wait and do his own live. Bella wants this.
Then give it to her.
It is a birthday cake protein bar. It is called the Pro Bar. Look at you guys.
I want those.
Hold on.
Oh no, Daddy.
Okay, hold the phone.
Oh no,
okay?
Daddy.
Can you help me? So here we go, you guys. Birthday cake. I'm so jealous. Birthday cake. Hey, Lauren, I didn't mean to stop talking to you. I'll text you back after this live. Okay, so here it goes. Here's Chris. I got the Pro Bars.
Oh dear God.
I'll leave it in here in a second. By the way, I hate protein bars. They're dry and horrible. This case, like I'm eating a chocolate bar. This one's cake batter.
Keep saying I want that.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where is it, Bella? It is delicious, amazing.
Oh yeah?
I'm not gonna interfere.
Oh wow. So good.
It's really good, y'all. And I'm not from the South, I say y'all. Hold this, we're open the next one.
I want that one.
And you want cinnamon roll. All right. Because I can't wait till tomorrow. We're going to try them all day. Oh my goodness. It smells
It's all we're going to eat all day.
It smells like, hold on, mommy. Hold on. I am the kids. It smells like.
Hi, David.
What is that place? Cinnamon bun place. Whatever that place is.
Cinnabon?
Smell it. Hold on, mommy. Let me go live here, kid.
Oh my God.
I know.
It's hard.
I know.
She's mad because I bit it.
Aww. Poor girl.
She wasn't feeling good too.
Yeah, she was sick.
She's mad at me, you guys. Come here, Bella. Come here. It's okay. You guys. The cinnamon roll. Taste. You okay? That's not even good. It's just a protein bar. Okay? Just a protein bar. That's amazing. Like, delicious, you guys.
Oh God.
I'm gonna have to fight my children.
Hide those. Might want to look at CC.
Oh, little sweetheart.
They're so good. So good, you guys. So I'm excited. My favorite is probably the birthday cake. The cinnamon bun tastes like literally cinnamon rolls. Okay, Bella. Sit right here for a second, okay? So the cinnamon bun ones taste literally
I always
like
noticed this part. Wait, let me just go back because I was talking about how Cece's always looking out for her sister, like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
take a whole cake.
They're so good.
Daddy, why is Bella crying? Look at her.
Oh my God.
Look.
Please take a whole cake.
They're so good.
I know.
So good, you guys. So I'm excited. My favorite is probably the birthday cake. The cinnamon bun tastes like literally cinnamon rolls. Okay, Bella. Sit right here for a second, okay? So the cinnamon bun ones taste literally like I just took cinnamon rolls out of the oven. Like that delicious. Birthday cake tastes exactly like they say. Birthday cake, amazing. Mandy, yeah, it's amazing. Like super delicious. So I'm so excited. Again, I apologize. I am a hot mess, but I don't really care because I was too excited not to wait to put these on. Oh, thanks, Amanda. She doesn't like when she heard I was having that we had the cinnamon bars coming out. She loves cinnamon rolls, so she really wanted them. Obviously, as you can tell, she was mad because I took a bite out of it. But those are Mommy's. Mom earned those.
Yeah, she's
Mommy's gonna
hungry.
get those. She's not happy with me right now.
Yeah, she should punch you in the face. I'm sorry.
She really should.
Lauren, if you get up with me, I have 2 extra. We can try them together. I don't mind not sharing them because I got to go hide them because I earned these. He can get his own. He said, really? Yep. So we'll be back. Can't wait for everyone to get them. I can't wait to find out when they are going to be announced, when they're releasing them. Okay, hold on, Mommy. Okay. They should be released soon. If you're on this live, comment where you're calling from. Comment which flavor you want. And I am so excited. All right, yo guys, have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys soon. See you guys in Vegas.
I wonder if any of our other, like the tight group of Lavelle girls that she hung out with, had accounts this heavy of Lavelle and Thrive and the Pro Bars. I've never looked at it, but I wonder.
What do you mean?
I wonder if like Christina Meacham and Cassie and Addie, are they on Facebook all the time pushing this product? I wonder.
Probably.
Oh.
I mean, that's the MLM way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Yeah, and their own weird, it's just weird.
Yeah, so there that is. Now, I just want to say, Maggie and DCT Primetime, thank you for the super chat. I just want to read these really quick. DC says, not accusing Nicole, but she was there that morning, and I have questions. I 100% agree with you, Sunshine. She said, the babies, at least one, were alive. Why didn't you save them? I know. Exactly. Well, I do believe she was there that morning. That is a huge question, DC Primetime. I mean, my God. And, the question is, why didn't you save them? Or the even worse question is, why did you play a part in their demise? And we don't know which one to ask because the information that would lead us to ask the proper question is so absurd by law enforcement themselves, in my opinion,
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my gosh. Then Maggie, thank you for the super chat, sweetie. She says, Bill looks a lot like Chris Watts, but I can see Shanann Watts and Bella, totally. When Shanann Watts doesn't have on her makeup or her hair done, just saying. Yeah. Have you ever seen that picture? Let me see if I can find it really quick of Shanann Watts when she was a baby as compared to Bella. It's like, whoa.
It is, because we all think Bella is looks so much like Chris, but there is that one picture.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I bet I can find it really quick. Let me take a look here.
Okay.
There's one picture of her. Well, there's a couple pictures of her, but then there's one very specifically where, they kind of like people have put it next to Bella and you're like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, all right, here we go. Got her. All right. Dun, dun, dun. The keeper of the Watts files overwhelming my computer. It's starting to talk back. Oh, see, slow. Let's see here. All right. Okay, here we go. So let me just share this with you here. Great comment, Maggie. Thanks for bringing that up. That's a good point. You know, some people, there are those that speculate that, and I just want to say before I even start saying this, I am not one who believes this in any way, shape, or form, that, you know, Cece looks like Chris Miller, somebody who, this guy, was he involved in Thrive or something? I don't know.
Yeah, he was.
But Cece also looks exactly like
Sandra.
Like,
Oh, yes. It's like she spit her out. Yes.
I know. So, yeah. Okay. So Shanann is there on the left, and then Bella obviously is there on the right. Like, holy God, they could be sisters.
Wow.
Twins.
It's unreal.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the nose, the smile, the everything.
Smile. I know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So there's that.
Little flame.
Oh my goodness.
I know. She breaks all our hearts, Bella. She just does. She just has that something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and Rosie said to Maggie, she said, I just saw Bella in Shanann Watts with Shanann with her hair pulled back. Yeah. I mean, I very much agree with you, Maggie. When Shanann doesn't have her makeup on and stuff, I definitely see like the facial structure very, very much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone needs more bandwidth. I'm straight. I need more bandwidth. I mean, I had just like graded all that stuff, and my computer's just overwhelmed. I have to give it a clean out too. Thank you, Too Deep, for pointing that out. I appreciate it. As if we didn't all notice. That's all right. I know. Who said that? Give your babies. Leah says, give your baby some fruit and veggies, and don't have your baby. Yeah. I know. I told this story before. Literally, I got like all excited one time because I thought there was a picture of Bella with a big bowl of fruit, and I looked closer and there was a big bowl of gummy bears. Hi, Lauren. How are you? Nice to see you, sweetie. 2 live streams in a row. Lauren's back. Look at that. Yes, Michelle. Shanann is very beautiful and gorgeous. She absolutely is. She's a beautiful woman. She definitely was. Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. I know. Let's see. Keep going.
Sending love to Kelly, Lauren. That was nice.
Aw, thank you, Lauren. Thank you so much. It's so really seriously so nice to see her. Lauren was like one of the first people that I think like commented like regularly in videos on this channel, even before I was doing live streams.
Wow.
Always remember Lauren. Yeah.
Maggie, Bridget, the $2 sticker. It says, "Oh yes, Cece is Sandy's doppelganger." Oh hell yeah!
She is. Oh my gosh! I know there's like one picture. It's like of Shanann, I think is in it, and Sandy and Bella and Cece when they're sitting out on
the curb of the front porch. Yes.
Yes. And Sandy and Cece are next to each other. Rose and I have never talked about this before, but like if you look, you're like, oh my God, like they look like
it really is. The smile, the shape of her head, her everything.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. And hey, just in case, I just saw your comment, anaphylaxis. Not sure what happened, but it's all good. I'm sure it's all good. So, let's see here.
Oh, that was nice.
Let me check in on that one. Still uploading. Freaking 46%, man. I don't know. Let's see. What should we do? Trying to determine here. How's everyone feeling in chat? Are you wanting some more?
Yeah,
more to look at? Are you dwindling out? How's everyone doing here?
No, I'm going back even more. You're doing good with the chat.
Okay. All right, good. Okay. Let's see.
I mean, everybody's just kind of the same thing. Either they're all appalled by the children being hungry, and her more worried about a video, and also a lot of it is just about put the damn phone down. Your kids are screaming, crying.
I know. It's freaking craziness. So one thing, I don't know why I had this. I know I've talked about this a million times. Well, not a million times, several times. If you're someone who watches this channel a lot of these live streams, but for those who haven't been here a while or who are new, as we're talking about Nicole Kessinger intermittently, because, you know, one of the biggest concern about this case is the issue of incomplete justice that is still lingering out there. And, you know, many people wonder, you know, what exactly is the deal with Nicole Kessinger? Why was she afforded so many liberties, so much freedom, and so much leeway, and so many levels in this case? So we have noted time and time again on these live streams, but I'm going to keep talking about it because I think it's really important. It's something I only noticed a few months ago, is that when you are looking through the discovery documents and you come across one of the first, transcriptions of Nicole Kessinger's interview with law enforcement, if you read here under details, it says recorded interview of Nicole Kessinger, parentheses, in capital letters, protect identity, on August 15th, 2018. So for no other witness in this case, is there a note to protect identity? I read through a number of different of complete discoveries for different cases over the years, and I don't think it's something you see all that common. At least it wasn't something that was ringing as my mind,
right?
It being a commonality across various discovery documentations. And why on August 15th, straight out of the gate, is this bitch's identity protected? I don't understand.
Yeah, because you even showed AD that. He was like, you know, wow, like, you know, it's she's the only one with that. You don't see it anywhere else. Yeah, it stands out.
Exactly. It's very strange. That was an AD book. What was an AD's book, Primetime?
Yeah, well, I didn't know. I know what was. I never even read. I didn't read that book. I don't know what.
I read. Yeah, it was a good book.
Was it?
Yeah. Shadow Man. Yeah, a good book. I read it shortly after it came out. I don't know. Is it available anymore? I can't even.
I wonder. I'll check if it's on maybe Kindle even.
Oh, hi, Farah. How are you? Hi, Andrea. Seabreeze, how are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. Seabreeze, Sandy.
Oh, yeah.
Is,
I did put the comment in that it's her mom. I hope you saw it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. Sometimes we get going like as if, you know, we all know these people.
I know.
Yeah.
There's so many players in this.
So Sarah says, hi, Sarah, by the way. Sarah says, some MLMs have a schedule you must follow and how often you must post or do live streams. That's very true. And for the 3 MLMs I've been involved with, I know that all of them had a strong recommendation that you post at least 3 times a day. And one of the postings should be a direct sales pitch. The other posting should be something informative that bolsters a sales pitch, like, you know, value of some nutrients that are in high concentration in pro bars. And then the other one, the third one, should be something personal that's going to help people to connect with you. And posting cute children and pets is like the number one. It's like the ace in the pocket. That's what they tell you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I cannot. I'll have to make another video sometime showing you. I will literally upload and show you the material that they give you. I don't care. I'm not involved with any of them anymore. What are they going to do? Kick me out?
Yeah, you're right. We're not worried about getting kicked out of the club.
Yeah, right. Serious. I'm not worried about that.
Not at all.
Oh man. Oh no, your dog was raised by a skunk, Farrah. I'm sure you know tomato juice, right? Or anything else that has high acidity. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you get that smell out. Oh man.
That is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Poor doggy.
Yeah, that is a nightmare.
The poor doggy. Yeah, Holly said crying kids never phase her in these videos.
Yeah.
Seems they were always crying.
I know they did.
I don't know what was that. Were they always really not feeling well, or was it for attention? Either way, they were crying a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I personally think we're both at an age where they needed a lot of parental attention. I mean, anyone who's had children that age, you know what? Sometimes you just want to go crazy because of the amount of energy you have to put into parenting, but you know, that's for a reason, right? And
Yes, it is. Yeah.
you know, I also think, you know, I've talked about before that each Celeste and Bella was learning, you know, at that age, you're really molding the personality and the habits of your little ones. And they were each learning the kind of behavior that they needed to exhibit to have their needs fulfilled.
Yeah.
And for Celeste, it was really acting out in this like energetic way. And for Bella, it was like crying and whining. And so when that happens, when they act in those ways, they either get positive attention or they get negative attention, which just reinforces their, you know, likelihood that they're going to repeat that behavior.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just really, it's child psychology 101, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I say child psychology 101, but if you haven't studied child psychology 101, you may not know that. I get that, you know? So, yeah. I agree, DC Primetime. She's Shadow Man is the gift that keeps on giving. I reference often. I think it's a great book too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to read it.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I would if I don't know. I can give you a copy if you want.
Okay, that'd be absolutely.
I don't even know is Shadow Man for sale anymore. Anaphylaxis. I don't even know if it is. Like one of the families got involved in that, and
oh dear Lord, that's right. I remember all that ridiculousness.
Yeah,
that was a great show. He's just, you know, I loved him with you, and he's, you know, he's charming. Him and he had the Killers T-shirt on. I'm like, how could I not love him?
Right? Yeah,
he's just a cool dude.
Totally.
And just so gracious, you know, he's so gracious to you, and I really love him.
Oh yeah, he is. He
really is. He is. Yeah.
So Anaphylaxis informs us that a Shadow Man is still for sale on Amazon. So maybe I'll buy you a copy, Rose.
Oh, you don't have, but that's great for
I
other
will.
people who haven't read it, because if you know, I didn't realize it was still. I might.
Yeah.
I think I just remember all the controversy and then wanting to put a stop on the sell date. So I probably in my mind didn't think it even went through because of all that.
Yeah, it did go through. I bought a copy. I bought myself and two of my friends a copy, and actually one of my good friends, the one didn't really end up reading it with us, but it had nothing to do with AD or the book or anything. It's just like that's what she's like.
Yeah.
But my other friend, we did read it together, kind of like a book club. We do that occasionally, and she, like coming from two really different perspectives. Me, who I already started my channel, I already like knew a great deal about the case. She really knew nothing about it. We were both like, we both thought it was a great book, a great experience. So yeah, the book is Shadow Man by Alan Vinicom. Am I saying his last name correctly? And it's available on Amazon.
Right. And Anna's like a curious rose. The book is not even all that controversial. It's pretty tame. I bet it is pretty tame. It's not him that was trying to make a big deal about it too. Like, let's think about where it all came from, all the hype about trying to stop it from this poor man from just putting his book out. They made the drama of the book, not him.
They did make the drama, and it was a lot of manufactured drama. And it's a freaking shame because he put a lot of time, like blood, tears, sweat, and effort into that. It's not easy to write a freaking book.
No, I mean, really, he has put a big chunk of his life into trying to uncover the bullshit behind this case. It's an awful thing with, you know, the way he's being treated. It truly is. I wouldn't say it if I didn't feel it, but it truly is.
I agree with you. And DC Primetime, and Farrah, by the way, DC Primetime and DCT Primetime, you just asked, yes, they are the same wonderful person. Our girl, DC Primetime, she dropped the T, and that's okay. That's her decision, okay? She says he doesn't like to upstage his guests. He does give his guests a lot of respect. I totally agree.
I always think he's real nice to everybody, whoever he has on. He's very gracious.
Exactly. Turquoise, I have to say, Watts, the obsession is doing an awesome job. Oh, thank you. I thought this was going to be about AD.
That's so nice.
Critical thinking and staying with the facts of this case without swaying out in space with this case. Awesome job. Thank you so much, Turquoise.
That's really nice, because it could easily happen where you could sway out.
Oh, yes. There's a lot of way.
Yeah,
Way.
Sarah
Oh
Lottie
my
makes a
God.
good point. Many MLMs
She always
specifically note in their terms and conditions that minors are not to be included in the sales advertising. Yeah, some of them. I mean, I guess not Thrive, but that's a good
That's
point.
a really great point. Sarah, I don't know if it was you that mentioned the last time when I was talking about something having to do with the bankruptcy and the MLM and the fine print. I didn't even get to the fine print part, but I'm going to have to follow up on that among the many things I have to follow up on. But when you do read the fine print, all claims and disclosures in the Lavelle or Thrive literature, it's really pretty stunning. And I wouldn't be surprised if there were some kind of clause like that, Sarah. That's a really good point.
It is. It is. And that's why I am kind of curious to look and see if any of her other friends are even on. I mean, I'm on like a Facebook where it's an open Facebook that you'd be able to see if they're using the kids as such props.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I know from my experience in MLMs. I mean, I know I can think of a couple people, and actually, I didn't really like any of them. I can think of a couple people that really did that, and they would dress their. I don't know. Yeah, I think I mean, they literally do tell you when you're posting about your 3 posts a day, your personal post, adorable children and adorable pets are like your ace. Like they say something like just like that, like. It's anything that's going to attract people. I mean, everybody likes to click on the post of the super cute kid or the super cute kitty or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's anything that's going to attract people to you. Yeah. Some have the divorce clause, and Thrive does have the divorce clause. Yes. That's one of the things that I was going to read.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't even want to go out on that limb now, but
no, but I'm happy we're going to get more into this because I had that's interesting.
It's very interesting. What
it has to be within the picket fence, perfect appearance of a life. That is wild.
Yeah. It's really insane.
It is, though. You know what I noticed, and it always bugged me with Dr. Phil. He's like almost really kissing up to the R's when he has them on, and he's the whole lead up about Shanann. He called her a social media maven, but he doesn't realize she wasn't. Like she did not have tons of viewers and tons of likes. It was not until after. It drives me crazy every time I hear it. I want to say that's not how it went, though, Dr. Phil.
Someone else uses that terminology too, social media maven. I've heard that before.
I mean, it's not in her case. No, it didn't. Unfortunately, it wasn't during her alive time.
Right. Mm-hmm. I agree. Let's see. So, man, I can't even believe that video is still uploading. So, hold on.
Rosie said he's one step below Jerry Springer. He's his own biggest fan, and he really does hype him up himself up. I don't know. I'm annoyed by him.
Yeah.
But I like his wife. I do. I like Robin.
Yeah, she's a lovely. She seems like a lovely person.
She seems lovely.
Yeah.
But I like. That's what I want to ask you. So it was like around September 5th or whenever, when Ashleigh Banfield does that video, her show where she's showing the baby monitors. And then I know she does there's another video we see of her where she shows the moving truck when the R's move all the stuff out of the house.
That's right.
When was that? October or November, maybe? When did everything get moved? The end of September?
I honestly have no idea.
I think it might have been the end of September, actually, because that's what they call September Lady. Because then Frank came into town the next day. That's right. So then I believe they said it was 8 days later after she showed the video with the moving truck. What was so horrible?
And
wonder.
I know. And was that her last Watts coverage?
Yes.
So that had to be in October, because one of the videos that I've been trying to upload was from October 11th.
Yeah, let me but it's like, what was so, I mean, I actually thought it was like you know, she was trying to really maybe make a little bit more out of it, like, oh, and they saw someone coming out of the house. Well, of course they are. If there's a they're moving stuff.
Right.
It was like maybe trying to make a little bit more out of it, but there was nothing controversial. I didn't think anything controversial about it, that unless they just made us think about their own privacy. Who knows at that point? Who knows?
But I mean, would that have been enough for such a popular television? I mean, news.
I can't
host to
see
be
it.
booted?
I don't know how that could possibly have been enough to kill a career on that network.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
I mean, I know here, I actually was intending on reading this article to you guys. So let me bring this up. This was an article from, let's see, Us Magazine, and it talks about some of the backlash that Banfield received for her coverage of Trent Bolt. So this is going back to the very end of August. So I guess what it seems to me like it must have been some kind of a string of events having to do with the Watts case that ultimately resulted in her being, you know, thwarted from the channel. But I mean, she was so popular. I mean, she was really pulling her weight on that network. HLN was kind of started to flounder in the water in the late 2000 teens, and they eventually got pulled, I think, in late 2020 altogether. So you must assume that they were having some trouble in 2018. So let's see what Us Magazine has to say. So I'm not going to watch the video. Don't worry, buffer gods. All right, it says HLM Crime and Justice host Ashleigh Banfield received backlash on Twitter on Tuesday, August 28th, for interviewing an anonymous man claiming to be alleged murderer Chris Watts' lover. Ashleigh looking all pretty like she does.
I know.
Okay, so then these are just comments. So I guess everything was in the video that I'm not going to try to play due to the buffering issues, and it doesn't even look like it's available anymore. That's weird. Okay, so what I actually had Googled there was what was the last date that Ashleigh Banfield covered the Watts case. So
yeah, because what I have pulled up as her last date with the Watts case is on September 26, 2018 is her report of the moving truck in front of the Watts family home.
Okay, but I definitely have one of the videos I was just pulling up was from October 11th.
Yeah, I want to see that. I don't know why that's not coming up. Let me get out of this. Let me look under let me word it differently maybe. Ashleigh Banfield interviews man who claimed, okay, that was gay lover. That was August 29th.
So let's see. I'm going to pull this. Well, while we're looking for that, let's watch here. I have this Ashleigh Banfield from August 16th, 2018. So let's just take a look at what Ashleigh and some guests that she had on her show had to say about the case. Now, this is just days after the murder. This is early reports from the Watts case. Again, very short after the murder.
The two girls. Can you explain?
Yes, Colorado Bureau of Investigation Chief Mark Hamper said in a press conference with the Frederick Police Department this morning here in Colorado that they think that they know where the bodies of the two little girls are, but he was very careful to not disclose anything about speculation about the cause of death, the manner of death, or really what the shape the bodies would be in at the points that they may recover them.
Tom, the company, and that he said he left for work at 5 o'clock in the morning the day all of this began to unravel.
Well, to me, it says that it may be a very difficult, maybe even impossible situation to try to recover the bodies. At a petroleum company, you could have dangerous acids and chemicals and vats and pools and drains, all kinds of things where you'd be able to dispose of soft tissue like a human body And it's just gruesome to even think what possibly happened to those children.
I want to read from Shanann's Facebook post from just August 1st. August 1st, that would be 15 days ago, just 2 weeks ago, she's writing on Facebook, "Do you know what I love about waking up every day? It's a brand new day, to have a fresh start, to be better than I was yesterday, to help someone feel better and happier, to make someone smile and laugh." 2 weeks later, police and investigators are combing through the house where she and those daughters and husband Chris lived, and instead are walking out with evidence bags. We're told large bags of evidence, and reports that Chris has made this confession. Jenna, what else do you know about this alleged confession?
Yeah, so reports are coming out that that even after so many media interviews took place from the time that Shanann and the two little girls went missing, then late last night, the reports came out that Chris Watts did confess. He was detained. There's an affidavit for warrantless arrest. He's currently being held without bail. We learned that as well. And the Weld County District Attorney will file charges Monday.
Body language expert Janine Driver. Janine, I want you to look alongside our viewers and me at this moment that Chris Watts appealed to all of us to help him find his family.
If you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here. Please bring her back.
This house is not complete. I hate to put myself in the shoes of anybody who's missing a family, but oftentimes behavior is the first thing that investigators seize on. Janine?
First of all, the house is not complete. The house misses her. How about her? Him missing her. He also doesn't say my wife, my kids here. He's keeping it more distancing. We call this distancing language. The concern that I have here, Ashleigh, is this long eye close that he's showing. And we see this eye blocking often with people. And it's a big concern. And also, if you're going to pretend to be crying, your nose should run, your inner eyebrows should pull together. And there's a reason why we have an ear, nose, and throat doctor, because it all connects together. There is no sadness in this clip.
So let me go over these issues and what your science shows you. For the rest of us, we're watching a guy talk, but you're looking at specific flags. And I want to list those out. The first one is that his eyes move to the upper left. What does that tell you?
So one of two things. It depends on if he's right-handed or left-handed. Typical right-handed people, when they look upper left, is recalling an incident. A right-handed person, a right-handed person, upper left is I'm recalling an incident. If I look up to my right, I'm creating an answer. So either way here, it doesn't matter, because what he's doing is he's going visually in an inopportune time. This should not be happening. He should not be going visually. So this is a hot spot.
So then you also note anger in his face.
Yes. Now, this is anger right here. We see a lot of anger and a lot of disgust. And even after anger and disgust, we then will see a smile in a couple seconds here. We see this at inappropriate times. I miss my wife. We had a conversation. All we did is I'll leave it like at that. And then that anger leaks out, that lips disappear. I say, Ashleigh, when we don't like what we see or hear, our lips disappear.
You also said, you mentioned that his eyes flutter when he speaks, but then there's this other moment that was odd. He's laughing, or he's smiling. He's got a delightful smile at one point in the interview.
Thank you for pulling this, and thank you for your producers. This is where he says, I want them back, and he smiles. This is called duping delight. This ripped my heart out. This is what had me saying 2 days ago, this guy did it, because we saw this with Susan Smith. Susan Smith drowned her two kids. She put them, the young boys, toddlers, in the seat, their car seats, drowned them in the water. And when the helicopters were above and she was doing a press conference, she goes, the police still haven't found anything, as she slapped the same smile that we saw here with Chris Watts. This is duping delight.
I mean, it's fascinating to see these elements that you're able to point out in your science. We should remind everyone, at this point, he's facing first-degree murder ×3 and tampering with evidence. But at this point, the charges haven't come down officially, and he is innocent until proven guilty.
Yikes. Kelly, I cannot I cannot find the actual show. It brings up the transcripts
Okay.
from October 2nd when Ashleigh Banfield did breaking news, and it was about that the autopsies were done. She talks about breaking. The other important part of the breaking news was that Shanann Watts had no will. I don't remember that, but I wonder if that annoyed.
Yeah, okay, maybe I thought that was from October 11th. The one that I was going to bring, one of the two that I was trying to get onto the channel to show you tonight was about Shanann dying intestate, which means that she has no will, and then they were also reviewing and evaluating the autopsy reports. Which had been
that's what
released
this is.
time.
So
okay, I thought that was from October 11th. I guess.
Yeah, no, but you know what it says on top though is this is a rush transcript and maybe updated. So maybe it was on October 11th more to talk about, and that's what you're talking about. That could very well be.
Yeah, okay. So that was, and one of the reasons that I actually selected that one to look at was because it was the last one I could find chronologically. So it was like I thought perhaps this would be the very last one that they actually covered.
Yeah.
So now something that they're pulling on here, let's see, that no, you can't really see this. So, they were talking about, the use of the distancing language and here, I'm just going to go over to that Dr. Phil Nancy Grace one because it's a good one.
Okay.
So let me get to that one. All right. Let's see. So stop. Share. Okay. So this is also uploaded on the channel in its entirety. But here's just some of what Dr. Phil, Nancy Grace, and some other experts had to say about the Watts family murders, early on, just shortly after they occurred.
It was an unthinkable time that left people asking, Dr. Phil, who does this kind of thing? Chris Watts, a handsome and seemingly doting husband and father, seemed to have it all. He and his wife, Shanann, had 2 beautiful daughters and a son on the way. Then, in the early morning hours of August 13th, Shanann and the children mysteriously disappeared. Chris went on TV and begged for his family's safe return. But oddly, he didn't shed one single tear. And then in a disturbing twist, Chris Watts is arrested, charged with their murders, and even more horrifyingly confesses to disposing of their bodies in a heartless and shocking manner. So what kind of man would do such a thing?
Yes, it's my bunny.
Behind
I'm
the
glad you
smiles
can
of
hear.
this picture-perfect family were dark
Scratch.
secrets that led to murder.
We love
And
those
we're going to
bunnies.
talk about how you can see those things coming. We're going to talk about it
It's like,
now.
ooh, Dr.
Take a
Phil's
look.
coming on. This is an important part of your live stream. Let me start scratching my page.
A dark mystery in Frederick, Colorado.
Concern in Frederick right now about a pregnant woman who's missing along with her 2 daughters.
With a grieving father and husband left behind in a very empty house.
I have no inclination of where they're at right now. When I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. She wasn't here. Kids weren't here. No idea where they went.
But in a video confession days later, Watts told his father he murdered Shanann in a fit of rage, claiming she killed the children.
The husband of a missing pregnant woman is in jail and now charged for murder.
The day Watts killed his
I just want to say really quick, I'm going to open up panel for a few minutes. I'm not going to be on too much longer because it's getting late, but I know DC Primetime and Kurt, I think you want to come up. So I'm going to put the,
And just so everyone knows, I changed the time, the book read time to 1:30. Okay.
1:30. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll be done.
So
then.
no,
Thank you.
I just wanted to let the chat know. This way they know it's
Awesome.
we're
Yeah,
good.
definitely.
We're good.
Okay, sounds good, everyone.
We're good.
Daughter school to say they would no longer be attending. And he also contacted a real estate agent about selling his home.
The innocent laughter of children is gone.
Mommy has a baby in her belly.
And story of a growing family ended.
We have 2 kids. We live in Colorado, and he's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Despite portraying a happy family on social media, text messages between Shanann, Watts, and the weeks leading up to the murders showed a fractured relationship. Prosecutors say Watts killed his family because of an affair he was having with a co-worker, Nicole Kessinger. In a recorded interview with police the day Shanann and the girls were found dead, Kessinger appeared distraught.
Oh, sad. She's pregnant. Oh, they're so cute. They're so little. Now the question remains, where are their bodies?
Now, Chris Watts, who everyone described as calm, loving, and sweet, had murdered his children and wife in cold blood.
He allegedly told investigators where to find their bodies on a property owned by the company he worked for.
If the senseless deaths of their loved ones weren't enough, the discovery of their bodies was gut-wrenching. Shanann's body was found in a shallow grave near the girls' bodies, submerged for days in storage tanks filled with crude oil.
Christopher Watts has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of tampering with evidence.
His motive was simple, Your Honor. He had a desire for a fresh start. Get a divorce. You don't annihilate your family and throw them away like garbage.
Court sentenced murderer Chris Watts to life in prison for killing his pregnant wife and daughters.
I trust you to take care of them, not kill them. And also trusted you. You heartless monster. Prison is too good for you.
Now, I'm here with my really good friend, Nancy Grace. She is an American
really
legal commentator and television journalist, as well as founder of Crime Online. So, Nancy, welcome. Please welcome Nancy Grace.
Put the link up, Kurt, Casey, if you want to come up.
Nancy, when you saw this case, I mean, what was it about this that you think captured the nation's attention?
While Chris Watts, is trying to figure out how he's going to get with his lover. I mean, his wife was only gone a couple of weeks to see her family, and bam, everything was over in those few weeks. She was out buying self-help books. Just thinking of her, in the bookstore looking for self-help books. How can I improve myself? And the whole time your husband is plotting your murder.
One of the things that I've noticed, and, I've been involved in forensic psychology I did a postdoctoral fellowship in forensic psychology immediately when I graduated. So I've been doing this for 40 plus years, and you see certain characteristics and traits in these people. And he started making really dumb mistakes really early, which narcissistic people often do because they see things only from their point of view. Now, before I play the interview, I want you to watch for some of the signs that we look for when you're doing a behavioral analysis, when you're looking at the psychology of a criminal.
Jody.
I know.
He doesn't refer to his family in any kind of intimate way. He doesn't use their names.
Uh-oh, Jody,
it's
here he
called
comes.
distancing. He uses pronouns like they and those kids.
We're listening.
He only says their names one time. He says Shanann once. He says Bella once. And when he says Bella, he talks about her in the past tense.
I like how a lot of people pointed this out early on. He only says Shanann Watts' name one time, and he says Bella. And when he does talk about Bella, he talks about her in the past tense. I mean, my God, if that's not telling, I think so many people that watched the interview from the porch picked up on the fact that, oh my God, he killed the family. And whether you consciously knew these are the reasons or not, I think that we kind of all sort of picked up on these things, Were
you involved in this from the beginning, Kelly?
I watched this all going down.
You did? Okay. I didn't. I missed. Yeah.
Well, as they started talking about it, I mean, shortly after the details were revealed, I was so horrified by this. I was like, unlike anything else I'd ever seen that had to do with true crime, I was like, I am so upset by this and shaken to the core. I don't ever want to hear anything about it again. And it wasn't until about 6 or 9 months later when I just happened to be talking to my best friend's friend when I was down in Maryland visiting her, and she was like, oh, you know, my friend's been following this case, Chris Watts case. I was like, I don't want to hear anything about that ever again. Then we started talking about it, and I got right back into it. But yeah, that was my story of that. So we will let you talk, Kurt. We will. Is there anything you would like to say? Welcome to the panel, Kurt. How are you doing?
Hi, Kurt.
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. And Kelly, any posts that I've done before this, ignore it.
What do you mean?
You'll see.
Oh, okay.
Ignore it.
Okay.
Oh, I know. I don't think Kurt thought that we were going to have him up on panel.
I'm a guy, and I just blurt things out. So just
that's okay. It's all right. You're forgiven. All of your sins are forgiven, my dear. Don't you worry now.
Thank you.
All right. Now,
well, I'm very what I was going to say about this tonight is I'm really intrigued by all this stuff going on in 2018. All these videos and everything. I just want to see. I want to see all this.
Yeah. Oh my God. And there's so much more. Like we were saying, we're definitely going to have to do a part 2 because I mean, I started pulling up videos over the past couple weeks. And then today, of course, you know, preparing for tonight, I had to do family things. I didn't have quite as much time, but I have a ton of material that I have to just upload and get ready to go. There's so much, and there's so much that was said. And let's just listen to what Dr. Phil here say. Dr. Phil the man, yeah.
I also want you to look at his physical distancing. He's in a closed body position, and he's rocking back and forth in a soothing sort of way.
And he keeps getting further and further from the questions.
Yeah.
And watch him licking his lips. And the fact of the matter is, psychologically, he's trying to wipe away everything he's saying.
Ugh, gross.
Wherever they're at, like, I have no inclination of where they're at right now. Like, I've exhausted like every friend that I know of, and every friend that I have called friends that Shanann has that maybe I didn't know about. And it's just like it's just vanished. Like, she's not, like, when I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. Like, she wasn't here. Kids weren't here. So I have no idea like where they went. And it's just earth shattering. I don't feel like this is even real right now. It's like a nightmare that I just can't wake up from.
You know, I know that
Bella's going to start kindergarten.
Let's see. Oh, there he is.
Next Monday.
Bella was going to start kindergarten next Monday. So there's Bella speaking about her in the past tense, which, I mean, I never picked up on that per se until analysts started talking about it. I was like, oh, of course, you know, like, yeah. But I know that I had heard some speech or behavioral analyst talking about how he characterizes when I went home, it was like a ghost town, and then how he says it's earth shattering. Like, he's like, this person was saying it's like him literally remembering like breaking the earth, like digging into the earth to create that shallow, disrespectful grave. Like, they really made a connection between like those things and his choice in language here, we'll say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they were just getting ready to start back again. I'm just hoping right now that she's somewhere safe, and maybe she's there. But right now it's just like, if she's vanished, like, I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad.
Look at that.
There's no camera in the backyard or anything like that, so
I mean,
it's really
look
hard.
At that
to
when
even,
he says that.
It's just like,
yeah.
If she's vanished, like, I want her back so bad. I want those kids.
Look at that. He's smiling.
He can't control the laughter.
Look at him. Look at that asshole. Look at him. Look at that. I want the
It's
back so
unreal.
bad. Look at that
There's
face.
Yeah.
no cameras in the backyard or anything like that, so it's really hard to even suspect anything right now as far as how she could have left, or if someone picked her up, or if somebody took her. I've never seen something like this in my lifetime unless it was on TV or a movie. And
Wow.
this doesn't seem real at all. It just seems like I'm living in a nightmare and I can't get out of it. I just want them home so bad.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
When I saw the interview, I said, we're looking at a killer right here. These are signals like a Navy flag man waving around what's going on. Now, coming up, after Shanann Watts and her children were reported missing, police went to search the house and talk to her husband, Chris. They videotaped the whole thing. We're going to show you that video and tell you why police may have already thought he was the main suspect. We'll be right back.
Did you tell your mother-in-law that she went to a friend's today?
Who
Was she supposed to go to?
I thought she told me. Said she's going to a friend's house to take kids.
And later,
research on psychopaths, and that's a clinical term. It's easy for these people to kill other people because.
Interesting that she says that. Now, she's an FBI profiler, and she says psychopaths, and that's a clinical term. But, you know, we just read, and this is true, that psychopathology, according to the DSM 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it does not categorize psychopathology as a diagnostic condition.
Right.
But she says here it's a clinical term. I just find it to be interesting. I mean, believe
I
her.
know.
but-
I mean, I guess as in the FBI, the way they view it, it's a clinical term, sure, but it's absolutely not a diagnosis.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
They don't feel stressed. It's the thing.
New video obtained shows the moments after Chris Watts murdered his pregnant wife and 2 young daughters.
Where'd Kurt
It comes
go?
from a neighbor's security camera.
Oh,
Shows
I don't
Watts
know.
walk
He
out
was-
of the home in
I don't know.
Then backs his truck up in the driveway.
Kurt, come
parking
back.
it so
We'll
a
let you
portion of the
talk.
bed is in the garage.
He's bored
It also
by
shows
us
Watts
already.
walking around his truck and putting items inside, including a red gasoline can. Then Watts drives away from his home.
There he is.
They were
There
going
he
to take
is.
you inside
Okay.
the mind
We were
of a
worried.
killer.
Sorry.
Inside the mind of Chris Watts. who
You're
you
lucky
just
you're
saw on
back.
surveillance
You're lucky
calmly
you're
loading
in
up his
trouble.
truck before driving
My
off
computer
with
was
the bodies
on the fritz.
of his dead
Oh yeah, I
family
know
in the
all
back.
about that.
Now, who would commit such a heinous act? Well, we've called in experts who have dealt with hundreds of cases involving sociopaths, but they say none even come close to Chris Watts. Take a look.
The Chris Watts case is one of the most disturbing cases that I've ever seen.
Leatherface, I said at Leatherface. Oh my God, Leatherface or anyone else. If you do want to come up, you're welcome to come up too. Let me just.
I did. I told him.
link up.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more time. I didn't mean to just
Yeah.
limit it to
No,
Kurt.
and I told him he's going to come on my panel too, which will be nice.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Get him up here because he's all over these cases.
Yeah, get up here, Leatherface. We want you.
He's going to start his own channel next.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, the 13th. Yep.
Let me know. We will definitely support you, Leatherface.
I
So come on
told
up
him we
if you
sure
want to,
will.
Okay.
Where'd you go, Leatherface? Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up, Leatherface.
Come
Come on, Leatherface.
Come on, little Leatherface. Love it. I love all these great names. All right.
Chris Watts is what we call a family annihilator. I haven't seen many cases like this because family annihilators usually commit suicide after the murders. Chris didn't do that. Chris is also a narcissist. He is the most important person in his world, and he's also a psychopath. Narcissistic psychopath is a really bad combo.
How he just decided to erase his family. He threw him in the back of his pickup truck, drove him, threw his daughter into an oil bin, buried his wife in a shallow grave.
Chris, like most killers, is not terribly bright, which is why he was caught so fast.
Who was she supposed to go to?
Here we go. FBI profilers, pieces,
When I
intelligence.
saw Chris being interviewed, I said, wow.
When I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. Like, she wasn't here. Kids weren't here.
This guy just gave away the farm. When he hugged himself and the shrugs, that's defensive. He pretty much just confessed to murdering his wife and children. I know that Dr. Phil has a background in criminal psychology, and I'd be very interested to see what he thinks.
Well, Candace DeLong is someone that I have tremendous respect for. She is a former FBI criminal profiler and criminologist. She also is the host of Investigation Discoveries Deadly Women. Now, Steve Cardian is a former detective and author of a really...
I just have to share something with you all. My sister-in-law is featured on that show, Deadly Women, because she shot my brother-in-law and played it off as a hunting accident in Canada. Her name was Mary Beth Harshberger. I don't know if some of you in true crime may have heard of her before. I will have to someday do a video covering that case. But
wow.
Yeah, true crime infamy. My family, that's right. Oh my God, Meredith Harshberger.
Important book that teaches women how to protect themselves. It's the new superpower for women. Candace, let me start with you. You saw this tape. You've seen some of his interviews. What did you see?
The interview he gave to the TV people on his porch, they did a close-in shot. His eyes were neither red nor swollen. This was not a man that had been up all night, worried, crying. Another thing that occurred to me, he says, yeah, when I came home, nobody was here. It was like a ghost town. It was a ghost town. He made it a ghost town by killing everyone else that lived there.
You bring up such an important point. Let's take a quick look at that little snippet.
It's like it vanished. Like, she's not, like, when I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. Like, she wasn't here. Kids weren't here. So I have no idea like where they went.
This is a guy with 2 children and a pregnant wife, vanished. And he, like you say, there's no redness in his eyes. That is such a good point. He doesn't look like he is emoted at all.
Yeah, well, it's what I don't see that tells me something's
What
wrong.
is their wedding band? Has he already gotten rid of that?
I didn't look.
He also gave smiles and laughter that was completely improper when he was talking about Bella. He says, she was. That's final. An investigator, that jumps out to me as he knows that she's already gone.
And people that are narcissistic and think they're getting away with something, it's called duping delight. They can't help but gloat when they think they're pulling the wool over your eyes.
He was celebrating his performance.
Yeah, and so let's take a look at this oil tank where the bodies were discovered. This is where he put his children.
This is one of the first panels talking about it.
The trap is 8 inches wide. The width of those girls, shoulder to shoulder, is 9.5 inches. Now, I don't want to say this to be too graphic, but you have to understand the nature of the beast we're talking about here. He had to break their bones to get them in there.
And when they tried to lift the girls up, their skin came off. They called it, doctors always have nice words for things. They called it degloving because he left them there.
So when you say, Dr. Phil, who does this? Who does this is a malignant narcissist psychopath.
There we go.
That's what makes these people so dangerous.
All right, let's stop here
Coming
for a
up
moment.
after his
Thank you, Dr. Phil. So I think so. Ara, welcome Ara to the panel, everybody, and Leatherface also. Let's bring Leatherface up on the stream. And
hi, Leatherface. Yes.
Hi, Leatherface. How are ya? Oh wait, I'm assuming. Wait, hold it. I'm going to mute you for a minute, Leatherface, because I think we're getting feedback from you. I know Ara's been up a few times, so. Leatherface, if you must have YouTube or something playing in the background, so if you can just mute that or shut it down or something or other, that would be great, so we won't get the feedback. I'll wait a couple seconds and I'll bring you back on, okay? Ara, how you doing, honey?
I'm well, Kelly. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you, darling. What do you have on your mind?
Well, thank you for allowing me to appear as always.
Oh, of course. We love having you here.
It's just one thing. It's interesting. Look how Dr. Phil is you know, he has his own panel, and he's discussing the case. I mean, when people have when people dislike that people have channels that talk about this case, I'm like, it's been done, and it's still being done. People need to get together and talk about it. Dr. Phil
That's
even
right.
did it.
That's right.
And we're literally
And
doing the same thing now.
That's right. Really good point, Ara. Thank you for saying that. Here, let me see if I can bring Leatherface back in. I'm going to try to bring you back in, Leatherface, okay? Let's see.
Come on, man.
Okay. Hey, Leatherface, how are you doing? Hello? Sometimes it takes a minute to... Oh, wait, I'm still getting feedback, sweetheart.
Turn off your YouTube.
Yeah, you got... Kurt Stacy will tell you all about it, step by step. So if you've got YouTube playing in the background or whatever, just turn it off, turn it down. So
X out of YouTube completely, Leatherface.
Yeah.
You're coming through StreamYard, so you don't need the YouTube. Just get out of it.
Right. Yeah, that's
Hello.
right. Exactly. Hello.
Hello.
Yep, we
There
hear
you
you now.
go. Woo-hoo! We have
Hey.
Give it up, give it up. Well,
There he is.
What are you doing?
You guys can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
All right.
So what's on your mind?
A lot. I don't know.
Well, say something. This is your moment.
Only woman?
No pressure. This is your pressure.
How about we say, welcome, Leatherface?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Something that, Dr. Phil just said here, which, I find to be interesting, and I really... trigger warning just for everyone out there. I really always have a hard time talking about anything that has to do with, what happened with the people or the bodies, at the very end. But, Dr. Phil says, he had to have broken their bones to have put them through those 8-inch holes, Stacey will tell you all about it step by step. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Hold it.
No.
I got to mute you for a second because we're still getting feedback.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oops. Here, wait, hold it. Just one second, honey. So listen, if you have anything on in the background, if it's on your TV or your computer, whatever, unless it's coming through StreamYard, if it's us talking, any of us up here on panel, then we get that echoey feedback. So you've got to just X out of it. So see if you could do that. So what do you guys think about, what he just said there about, having to have broken bones to put them in those tanks? What do you think, Kurt?
I did the research and I saw where they talked about how that was like a paper plate,
right?
About the diameter of a paper plate where they were, and those children were not that size. I mean, seriously.
They weren't.
I have
No,
a
they
question.
weren't.
I have a question about the broken bone thing.
Yes, and
Okay.
and there's
Sorry,
a discrepancy between, when they this realigns to everything where they say that Chris was a liar about a lot of stuff. So what I'm saying is they asked him when he put those girls in those oil tanks with only an 8-inch diameter place where you could do that. And the size of the girls, they asked him if he had to break bones or do any, I know this is, I hate talking about this.
It's very sensitive. Please be careful.
I know. It's terrible.
But
and he said, in his own words, was they just dropped in. Didn't you say something like that? But,
he did.
But I don't think so.
He has no right to say that. No autopsies were even back yet, and when they were back, there's no broken bones. That's what we have to go by. When you have sensationalists like Dr. Phil, it's an awful thing, and that's how the gossip in the rumor started.
Yeah.
Yes, they had broken bones. Didn't though.
But then here's the thing, though. Look at this. Look at the picture I have up now. So this is Bella and Celeste. I don't know exactly what date this is from, but this is, approximately what they looked like, the size that they were, when their terrible fate occurred. And I mean, 8 inches?
Miss Kelly, I don't mean to interrupt you all, but something to think
No.
about that is interesting, or I guess that I have trouble with, and I'm going to say victims, okay?
Yeah.
Once the victims were put into the tanks and the victims were sitting in that crude oil for days, I believe possibly it would have been difficult to know
Determine.
determine what happened to the victims before they were put in those tanks, because the victim's skin was slipping. I mean, so maybe if bones were broken, maybe it was difficult. It's like when you put I'm
I've
sorry,
had
trigger
that thought
warning.
before.
When crunchy cereal is in milk too long, it gets soft and you don't even know the shape of it anymore. I apologize.
But they even did x-rays on Bella's jaw, which was all intact. You can still do x-rays. They saw old scratches and bruises. Like, you don't realize that you are still able to still recover.
And again, it was just a thought.
I know, I'm just giving you back the feedback that because it does seem unbelievable. Like, how could you possibly remove those girls and get anything? But you can actually.
But remember also, Chris, when he admitted to what he was doing, he said that when they asked him, how did you get those girls into those oil tanks? And I hate it. He said he put them up like this.
Yeah.
And pushed them down.
Yeah.
And I think with 8 inches, that's the size of a paper plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe bones were broken as he shoved them down. I hate to.
We don't know that, and we don't want to say that and trigger
I know.
because
I know.
the channel gets targeted. Then we have to be careful.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I have to refer to saying victims and all that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, wait. Let me see if I can bring Leatherface back in. Let me try again. Okay.
Get him back. I've seen him all over other channels. And
you mean he only comes to this channel like ever? No, I'm just kidding. No, that's good. I know Leatherface is popular. So let's see if we can bring Leatherface. Speak, my friend. Speak.
Hello.
Oh, hello. There you go. We got you. I think we're good. I think we don't have any feedback. So So we're bringing you in when we're talking about an absolutely terrible topic. But is there anything you want to say about this or anything else that you've heard?
My theory on what happened with the tanks is that this might be a trigger warning.
Okay.
That he stomped them into the tank.
Yeah. Well, that's what Graham Coder asked him, right? He says, during that interview, he says, I don't mean to be like whatever, but did you have to? I don't remember, but that's essentially what he was asking, right? I think.
Yeah, I mean, from the evidence, I mean, their skin was, what they say, forgot the correct term.
Yeah.
But it just seems like, I mean, it was an 8-inch tank.
An 8-inch, yeah.
It's sad. It's just really sad. But I just feel like he probably, like, forced them in there out of just being...
Yeah.
Well, with their arms up, children are pliable. We have to think of it that way, and they are almost moldable.
Yeah.
Yes, Bella had areas on the top of her head, but they're not. They were areas that happen when your airway is blocked. So it wasn't even that you could say it was like they were areas that he possibly was stomping. They're called Tardite spots. So
wait. I don't understand that. Can you make that connection? So
they're called Tardite.
Okay. Can you explain that to everybody? Like explain real slow, like I'm a golden retriever. Okay.
They're called Tardite spots. And you can see that in someone when they have some type of smothering, strangulation, any type of
on the top of the head.
Hers, they can, they're spotty, but Celeste did not, but Bella did.
Oh my gosh, I never would have known that.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
See, this is why I think it's so dangerous for people that don't really, really know what they're talking about to be talking about anything having to do with the autopsies, like in great detail, like the topic of tonight's show is the autopsies. Like,
Right.
I
Oh
mean,
God, I know.
You know, I do research like on everything. I look up everything. I want to know everything about everything, and I have never even heard of that before.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's like,
and that's
if you're
because
not
it's
in
my
the medical
field, right?
profession, why would you know that?
Right.
You know?
I mean, if I wasn't a trauma nurse, I really wouldn't even have to know that.
Sure, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And while you guys were talking, I just researched the difference between adult and children bones, and there's a difference between cartilage and the development. And so, yes, it is possible for bones to be a little bit more. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
And I just
yeah.
looked it up right now because you guys were talking about it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Well,
interesting.
I wouldn't say it if it wasn't something that, like, we
Oh,
do
of
refer
course.
to, because like Dr. Phil, like what is saying, they stomped on it, the sensationalism, it's despicable.
Yeah, yeah. I guess, I mean, I didn't look at it like that before, but with what you're saying now, I guess it does seem a bit like sensationalism, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it does.
But can I say this? That's what's great about your channel, Kelly, is that you really do take the time to do the research before you come on live and go over everything with everybody, and it's great. I mean, you do the research, you look for everything that you can,
Yeah.
and then you bring in people that maybe there's something else that you missed or whatever, and it's great. That's what's great about this channel.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. And I mean, I feel like, if you're covering, my God, this case, and I feel like a connection to the victims and the people involved in this case. If you're going to be talking about material that's so sensitive, I sort of feel like if you're not going to be doing your due diligence and giving them the respect to take the time to do that background research, and like maybe just don't talk about it. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that you perceive that in the channel, because that's what I definitely want to be coming through. Yeah.
That is really, that's nice.
Yeah.
Ellie,
somebody has
subscribe to any conspiracies. A lot of channels that I was following before, I kind of got lost in like a rabbit hole with their own conspiracies about NK involved or this and that. I kind of like to have an open mind about it.
Sure, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shanann had her, her good and her bad.
Yeah.
I still want to have an open mind about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should. Yeah.
Even with having an open mind, Leatherface, do you have any thoughts on like what you like? Do you think someone else was involved? Do you think that?
I don't believe. I really feel like when she came home, like from my own experience dealing with women that are quote unquote feisty or spicy.
Or unstable.
When I seen her come to the door, it seemed like she was already ready for confrontation. And I'm not a confrontational person, but I seen in her mannerisms when NA dropped her off.
Yeah.
Sorry. She was ready to argue about something. So
yeah, maybe she was.
I don't know if she confronted him, and then I don't know what happened, but I see a lot of similarities in Chris and me too.
Yeah.
I'm an introverted person.
It's funny how many men I've heard say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm non-confrontational, and I don't know if when he came in, when she came in, it was like an instant argument when she's talking about lazy dog and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I bet she had that on her mind. I would have been fired up. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like
I can see that.
I don't want to feel like he snapped, because I honestly sometimes feel like premeditated.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
can I add on to what he's saying? I'm just
go ahead, Kurt.
saying that I've always thought that, we see her, Nicole Atkinson, dropping her off after that business trip, and she walks up to the house, and they've got their video camera and all that, and then she walks out. That's the last we see of her. And what I was thinking in my own mind was, that was like her walking into a death trap.
I know.
You're right. We all want to tell her turn around.
And exactly. And what the only thing I was thinking was, oh my goodness, this is so terrible. Yeah. And then we have all of our own conclusions about what happened after that. But what I thought, and Chris is a liar, as well. He lies about everything, and he's lied about all kinds of stuff. Is my own perception of this whole case, just based on my own education and things that I've seen with working with people with disabilities and people with emotional disturbances, is they lie. And I hate to say it that way. I mean, I'm just being blunt about that.
Well, I mean, I feel I have to agree with that, coming from the same background.
Yeah, exactly, Kelly. And we talked about this before. But I mean, it's just I feel like this was already a setup situation for Shanann. I think the kids were probably already dead, or not. If they weren't, then they were soon going to be.
Yeah.
And I think that he was just done. And when I say that, I don't mean that in a just, oh, I'm done. I mean, he was done as far as his whole life was concerned. He was done with his life.
Yeah.
He was done with the Thrive. He was done with having 2 kids and a wife that he was already supporting. He was working his ass off. And believe me, when I say this, I don't mean this in any way that this was right, what he did at all. No. It was completely wrong. It was completely. It was a series of different things that were coming together to form the perfect storm, if you will, to the perfect storm. I mean, to have something like this tragically happen for all of these people.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. It was reality. Summer's over.
Yes.
Summer's over. She's coming home now for good. And I'm not going to be able to have my fun. Oh boy. And we're broke. And we're broke.
And I think that had a whole lot to do with what was discussed in that 111-minute conversation that's not here in the official timeline the night before these murders.
Yeah.
This was the last time we saw her right there. What you're presenting, Kelly, right there. And I think she was walking into a death trap right there. And it's sad. And it's just see that right there? That's and everybody has their own opinions about what the girl, were they alive, were they not, what's going on here. Personally, I think they weren't, because Chris himself told those people that he went to a birthday party across the street. He knew that was the last birthday party they were going to. And when he said he was going to tuck his girls in that night, that was he said, who was it? I think he did. Was that to the prosecutors, or was it to that woman that was doing that book?
Sherilyn Cadle. I know he said it to her. Yeah.
Yeah. He said, right. He said, I knew that was going to be the last time I was going to tuck my girls in. So, I mean, personally, and here's another thing that I didn't say that I wanted to say on the last time you brought me up, Kelly, and thank you for bringing me up again.
I said,
when he told the prosecutors that the girls were alive in the truck with him, and he had put Shanann's body in the truck with, she was wrapped up in the sheet, but she was also, he had put the trash bags on either side. Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't think that's what was happening. Personally, me, I think that the girls were in the trash bags and Shanann was wrapped up in the sheet.
Okay.
And I think he had already committed the crime, and that was a death trap
Wow.
that she walked into.
I had never heard. Just real quickly, I can hear you guys. I just got to go grab a drink. My throat's dry. Rosa, you can just like moderate the
Okay.
panel.
Yeah, of course.
No, that's just what I thought. I've heard that from other people before.
Yeah.
They said no, the trash bags had both of the kids in them, and Shanann was wrapped up in the sheet.
Yeah, because I can't imagine those kids being alive through that whole ride.
No, well, and if you remember, Leatherface, he said in when he a year after he had been incarcerated, he said, "Well, I might as well let everybody know what happened. I'm sitting in prison." He said that he had tried to kill kids at the house. Now, but we can't really take anything for granted with what he says because, I mean, he lies about everything. He was a liar.
Yeah.
And we all know that.
He's a good liar. Or maybe not.
Do what?
I feel like he's a good liar. I feel like when he was with Shanann, he had to lie about a lot of things, like just everything.
Well, that was a situation where who goes from being a man who loves his family and we're successful, we're working hard. This is what America's about. We're we got the big house, we're doing everything.
Yep.
Right. And we're doing, I'm working my ass off to do what I'm taking care of my family. I love my wife. I've got my kids.
Yep.
Who goes from that to all of a sudden, oh, I'm just going to kill everybody? There's I mean, that's why we're all on here. I mean, it's just, it doesn't make sense.
We're all trying to figure out why.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, it's and that's why we're all here. We're all here because we understand that it doesn't go from we are an American family working as hard as we can to be as successful as we can. We've got our two beautiful daughters, and let's go and continue doing what we're doing. And then all of a sudden, oh, I'm just going to kill everybody? I mean,
no.
I mean, he was with NK for 5 weeks, and he was with a woman.
Well, yeah, I know that plays
into that. Let him be him.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time in years. I can relate to that. Like, I've been in situations where I wasn't able to be myself, and I feel like I was in a prison.
Mm-hmm.
But not to say that I would murder anybody, but he wasn't.
That's the difference.
He didn't have the tools, whether he learned it from his dad, because his dad was very passive too. He didn't have the tools to really be like, to tell Shanann how he felt. So maybe that night he tried. I don't know. I feel like it's still premeditated. But
well, yeah, it was. I mean, obviously, that's why I was saying that she walked into a death trap the last time we saw her on that video. But I mean, and I'm not giving Chris any kind of leeway with this at all. I mean, he obviously was he did not have the coping skills to deal with whatever he was dealing with.
His dad was the same. Remember, he picked up his dad from the airport or whatever.
Yes.
We went to confess, and his dad is like, "Is everything okay?" And he started talking about sports. I feel like his dad knew already what happened, but he didn't have the tools to talk to him and really because they seen him happy when he was there in North Carolina texting someone who wasn't Shanann. They all suspected that he already moved
Right.
on. So
I want to get right back to this really quick. I just need to address a comment that I feel like needs to be addressed. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to come right back to it. But hi, Kristen, by the way, welcome. She says, it's hard to sitting here hearing folks just guessing. But in the autopsy, there is shoulder bones broken.
No.
It's to be discussed and
Oh.
no more guessing. Well, first of all, that's what we're saying. We're asking people to be careful because we're talking about a very sensitive topic. On this channel, we are very careful to present nothing but the facts. And a curious Rose, who is here on panel, is a trauma nurse, and she's read autopsy, and she's more knowledgeable about it than anybody that I've heard speak about the autopsies on YouTube. So I just want everyone who's watching to be clear on that. And, you know, I definitely defer to her as being...
Yeah. We've read them out loud, literally, as best we could with being sensitive to such bad topics, but no. No.
Yeah. So were there shoulder bones broken, Rose?
No, we've read. I mean, I literally read out loud as much as I could. No, there were no broken bones, surprisingly, but no. And like we said, the children are pliable. They're moldable.
Right. So we're not sitting up here guessing anything.
Right.
We don't the topic without being grounded in fact and evidence. So I just want that to be clear. So Kurt and Leatherface, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I felt like you really needed to address that.
No, I was trying to move away from that.
Yeah.
But what I was talking to Leatherface about, I mean, it just we were just talking about the situation that Chris was in, not giving him any leeway about what happened. We're all here because we're talking about what built up to this situation and what could have been done different. I mean, seriously, it's just it's a tragedy. It's really bad. There is so many different avenues that could have been pursued.
Yeah.
If they, talking about them, Shanann and Chris and everybody else, if they had taken the time to really say, okay, what's going on here? We really need to fix this. This is not.
When it comes down to there's a lot of things that could have been done differently. You know, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You know, I in no way ever am meaning to insinuate that Shanann had something to do with her own murder. I think family dynamics brought this family to a place where they truly were in crisis. But when it came down to it, when it comes down to the final analysis, it was Chris Watts who made the decision to murder or to allow his family to be murdered, and that's the final analysis. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of, in retrospect and hindsight being 2020, as we look back, as I've said many times, I truly believe this family was in crisis. I think there were a lot of things that a lot of people could have done differently that could have possibly, again, hindsight 2020, it looks like it would have possibly changed the direction. But, this horrible, egregious decision that Chris Watts and possibly somebody else made that took away their lives was the
there you go.
Most horrific, worst decision that a person could have made. There were many different alternatives, right?
Yeah, and there may have been some other influences too, right,
exactly. Yeah.
I was thinking for a while, because even after watching the movie on Lifetime, how they keep on emphasizing that strive stuff, that there might have been a chemical imbalance because Chris he was sleep deprived as well, and I remember being sleep deprived myself and feeling like I was in a psychosis until I caught up with sleep, and then I came to my own rationality. I was like, whoa, those thoughts that I had weren't real. I was sleep deprived.
Sleep deprived psychosis is frightening, and it's real.
It's a real thing.
It is.
Yeah.
And being with a woman for 5 weeks while you're not with your family,
Uh-huh.
change your mind on your whole perspective of your life.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. I
That's
think
right.
Really
So
good point.
he might have just wanted to throw like literally what he did, just throw his whole life away.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what he did.
Yeah, nobody won, right?
Nobody
Yeah.
won, man.
Yeah.
Everybody
So
won.
sad.
Nobody won.
Yeah.
Right, and Kelly and I have talked about this before because we're both we come from backgrounds with people that are on the spectrum.
I'm on the spectrum, I feel.
Autism spectrum. I think he was Asperger's person.
Yeah, me too.
His
And-
sister does too.
And
Does she? I
Kelly,
didn't know
Yes.
that. Rose.
Yeah, she's just called like it's not that he was ever diagnosed, but she's always told her mother that.
Oh, I think I had heard that, but thank you.
Oh yeah,
that
it's
was, like,
throughout
way
the,
back
yeah,
in
and it's
the
throughout the
file.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious. It's kind of obvious. I think he kind of was a little bit, quote unquote,
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Becky Boo says, I just want to say this, and I agree with you, Becky Boo. She says, my main issue with this case is how poorly it was investigated. I fully agree with that. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, how they let NK go with whatever she wanted to say.
They just went exactly, Leatherface. They just went with whatever. I mean, and isn't it interesting that NK just offered her services real quick? She just jumped.
Yeah.
Her services and everything. Yeah.
Services. I like that word. I like that word, Kurt. Service.
I don't want to cut you guys off abruptly, but Curious Rose, her reading of Blood and Marriage was scheduled for 1:30, and I'm getting very, very tired. So
yeah, I made it for 2, but thank you, Kelly, for
awesome.
reminding everyone. Thank you.
I just wanted to let you guys know I am going to have to wrap it up soon because I'm just getting super tired. But I'm very happy to have both Leatherface and Kurt staying up there.
This was such fun with them.
Bye-bye. And Curious Rose is always awesome to have up here.
Thank you, guys. And thank you, Leatherface and Kurt. You guys were awesome.
Yeah. Well, Laura MC says nobody won. Then talk about how wonderful Shanann was. I can talk about how wonderful Shanann was for a lot of reasons. Shanann had this like inspiration and drive and determination part of like magnitudes that I myself can't even relate to because I don't have it. And man, I wish I did, because if I did, I think I could do a million things in my life that I wanted to do. I think she loved her children immensely. I think she had a very warm heart. I mean, look at all the people who were attracted to her and the friends that she had around her, and all of the people who were immediately so concerned and hands-on involved when they got the first whisper that something might be wrong with her. Shanann had a ton of wonderful attributes. I've talked about them many times throughout the past year plus that I've had this channel, and I will talk about them again and again and again. So I've seen you mention that a few times in comment, Laura MC. Thank you. I think it's important to offer a balanced perspective, and when it's appropriate, we will sing Shanann's praises time and time and time again. And this was in no way her fault, murder or the murder of her children.
Nobody's fault.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, does anyone have any final words up here? And Leatherface, Kurt, thank you so much for coming up. I don't mean to cut either of you short.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
I would love to have you come up again sometime very, very soon.
Definitely. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And are you starting a channel, Leatherface?
Yeah, in the next week or two.
Be sure to come on here and let us know, and we will plug away. We'll plug you.
Absolutely.
I am not starting a channel. I just love to come into these channels.
You're like Molson, man, Kurt. That's all right. We need you. Well, we need that on channel.
No, I just love all this interaction, talking about this stuff, and
you're respectful.
Thank you.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, that's the bottom line.
And Jody is cool. Is very happy you're here too. My girl.
I love my job, what I do, and I just love coming into this and seeing the discussion about this. The only reason that I got involved with all of this is because, like, somebody asked me, the last live that I was on with Kelly is that woman from Holland. She asked me, she said, what got you involved in this? And I said, I watched one of these channels like A&E or ID channel,
Yeah.
about true crime.
Yeah.
and they just portrayed it in a one-way situation about there was this killer that killed his family.
Right.
And I said to myself, no, not when everything's going so good. You just don't. It's not like you get up every day and you love your kids and you love your wife and you go to work and all this kind of stuff, and you just one day I'm just going to kill my family.
I know.
No.
Yeah, there's so many more levels to it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Help me out with this. There's another comment I need to address. So Too Deep says, autism is a neurological disorder. It's supposed to be diagnosed by a neurologist hooked up to a machine where they see your brain malfunction. That's legit autism. A lot of misinformation is being spread. Well, actually, I mean, I work with people, students, children, and adults with autism every single day after day, year after year, and that is not true. I mean, that is one method that can be used to determine brain abnormalities that are indicators of autism, but that is not necessary for an autistic diagnosis. There are plenty of evaluations that have been created based on certain behavioral criteria through observation on several sources, all synthesized together, that can give a very reliable and accurate autism diagnosis. So if I were to put what you just said up there on my screen and to say that's true, that, my friend, would be misinformation. So I mean, I just got to set it straight. What do you say?
Yeah.
Correct or?
Oh no, you are correct. Yeah. There's in little children, you would have to physically restrain them to hook them up to a machine because you need them to be awake and alert to check the brain malfunction. That's not happening.
Yeah,
that's just not. It's just
that's
not.
That's like that's a tool that you can use to get data that's going to bolster an autism diagnosis, but that is not the diagnostic criteria. I know that very well.
No, it's not.
No, and I understand that too as a former special education teacher.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yes. So
I've been part of plenty of autism diagnoses in my life, like so many I can't even count. So I definitely know how it's done. So.
Yeah.
All
right. I'm gonna head over to my channel and get things situated. I had a great time. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Curious Rose. Everybody, give it up for Curious Rose. She's always
thank you. And thank you guys too. Like I said, you guys are such fun, and we'll do it again.
Yeah.
All right. All right. See you guys soon. All right.
Good night.
Okay. Good night.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm not saying it's not a neurological disorder. I'm just saying it's not legit autism and illegitimate autism. There is a diagnosis of autism or not a diagnosis of autism.
But
you're saying your son has autism, and from what you're saying, I understand that part of his diagnosis must have been some neurological brain scans, and I think that's a very thorough diagnosis, and I commend you as a parent for pursuing that kind of an evaluation that's going to result in such a thorough diagnosis. But unfortunately, in a lot of, even medical facilities, school districts, what have you, where autism diagnosis take place, not everybody has the methodology or the means to do that kind of an evaluation to determine diagnosis. And, any of those that I just mentioned is not more legitimate or less legitimate than the other.
No, it's not. And remember, Kelly, also that, the autism spectrum is so big. And when you're trying to diagnose across that spectrum, that takes a professional, somebody that has had so it all lines up with what you're saying. So,
yeah.
We understand this.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, oh my gosh, this is like what I've been working with for and been studying for years and years of my life. And
yes, ma'am.
I definitely know that not everybody who has been given the diagnosis of autism has had brain scans and things like that. I'm not saying it's not a neurological disorder, although that is to be debated in itself, but I don't want to be part of that debate because I have opted out of that debate.
No.
With the people who have autism. So, yeah.
No. No. Yeah. All right.
So anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. You're so wonderful. Thank you, moderators. You are amazing, hardworking, awesome. And thank you so much. I appreciate all of you and everybody in chat. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being respectful.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks, and good luck with starting up your channel, Leatherface. My email is I'm putting my email address in the chat right now. If you need advice or whatever on anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Just let me know who you are, and I'll try to get back to you real quick. It's wattsobsession@gmail.com, and I wish you the best of luck, and we will definitely support you.
And congratulations on 15K.
Thank you so much. Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, and thank you guys all for being a part of it. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Leatherface. So, all right, everybody, have a good night. I'm going to just sit here and start to clean up things on my computer. I'll let the chat run for a couple minutes for those of you that are having some conversations and dialogue or whatever. And everybody, head over to A Curious Rose's channel to hear the last part of Blood and Marriage, the book based on Cindy Watts' account of what the hell happened with all those people by Kathleen Houston. Yeah. So good stuff. All right. Peace out, y'all. Have a good night.
Peace.
Take care. Virtual hugs back at you, Becky Boo, and everyone else. Thank you for being part of the channel. Thank you, Carolyn. Good night, everybody. Good night, guys. And sorry, Too Deep. I didn't mean to get snippy with you, but I mean, when people are saying I'm putting out misinformation on my channel, and I'm so careful to not do that, it just strikes a nerve a little bit, especially when I work in the world of autism every day, day after day, and I care so deeply about the people I work with and about the population in general. It's just, that's what's up. So, all right, everyone take care. Love you guys. Be safe. And thank you, Aussie Girl Jen and Utter Nutter, by the way, and everyone else here that's been moderating. You guys have been doing a great job. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, guys.